Yo, what's up, everybody? Quick warning on the video. We did this about a week or two ago. I didn't get to it. I was kind of procrastinating, and I got a new job, so I had to deal with all of that. So this video is a bit old, and with the draft coming up, some of the information not be super relative. But I'd imagine there is still a good bit in there that could help you out, and at least enjoyable. You can get a lot of laugh out of it if you think we suck. But anyways, I hope you do watch the video, and have a good one. Bye-bye. All right, so we are doing lists, top 3 and a bonus redraft dynasty. We're going to be going through talking about some of our interesting moves that have happened recently, free agency trades, either one. And Brown is going to start off with his number 3. Who do you have, Brown?
My number 3, I have a guy that went to Dallas, Javonte Williams. Yeah, he was number 30 running back last year on Sleeper. He had a very just complimentary role on the Denver offense last year, and he goes to Dallas with literally no answers right now at running back. And this is all pre-draft. This is all before the draft actually takes place.
Yes,
So this is
yes. We
all.
aren't counting the draft or anything. Sorry, I should have specified that. Yes,
Yeah, you're good. So we're just counting like how the rosters are formed right now. And right now,
currently.
Javante he's the guy there, and he is still 24 years old.
Yeah,
He should
24.
be
That's crazy.
25 entering the season.
Still pretty young.
So still young.
Yeah.
Is coming off an injury, but is now 2 years removed from that injury. And there were a lot of times during the season, a couple games I watched personally, that he looked very fast. He looked like he was hitting holes really well. Some games he wasn't as active, but Denver also went up against a lot of good run defenses last year. So he is going to be, I think, a really good asset for Dallas. Even if they draft a running back, if they draft Genty, I think he's gonna get a lot of like the goal line work. He's gonna get a lot of passing work. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna be used a lot as far as moving the offense forward. And Dallas is gonna score a lot of points still. They still got CD Lamb. They still got Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I mean, Dak
Um,
Prescott, if he's healthy, I mean, they did score a lot of points with him being healthy because, like you said, they still have some weapons there. And really, going off what you were saying before, Javonte being the guy, he was meant to be their total bell cow, like their everything back in Denver. So he like you said, he could do all that, the goal line catching, he can do all that stuff. It's just a matter of, like you said, being off 2 years removed from that injury. Can he reclaim some of that? And he's the top guy, like you said. I mean, Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn's, that like they really don't have anybody. And if they draft a
yeah,
guy, I still see him being used.
yeah. Like this is more of just like, hey, I hope this kind of happens for
Yeah,
him.
a
But
shot.
as far as free agency though, like you don't have a Saquon Barkley in this class. Like you don't have those top running backs.
Oh, in the
So you're.
draft, Ashton Genty is supposed to be that guy.
I meant in free agency.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
You're good.
Yes, you're right about
But
that. Totally.
yeah, so Javante was actually one of the key guys. I mean, yeah, you got Najee, yeah, Aaron Jones resigned,
I was actually
but
kind of surprised they signed him, to be honest. And then they followed
yeah,
it up with Miles Sanders. They must have been pissed off here from the fan base. They were not happy.
yeah, like I said, like now they have all these running back coming in their first
A
year,
lot of
but
good
now they're
running
also
backs.
like, oh, now we'll go after the running backs in free agency. So
And you
kind
can
of weird,
easily go draft a
but
running back, and like you said later, it's a stacked running back class. And like
and
you
they
said,
still can.
Javonte could be the guy. They draft somebody, and then they end up maybe trying to use him in a 50-50. Because Miles Sanders, I feel at this point, isn't really like he's a straight backup. I feel at this point, like you already know what he is. Like he used to have that starting thing, but they tried. What was it? The one team they tried. I think it was the Panthers.
Carolina, yeah,
Yeah, and it failed.
yeah. Miles Sanders, he's gonna be more of a like a
If Javante gets hurt because he's injury prone, like he had to,
yeah,
yeah, you know.
just to relieve somebody. And if they draft somebody, I think he's gonna be third on the pecking order. He's not gonna be really. I don't see him as relevant in fantasy. I barely see him relevant in the NFL. So, but yeah, I like Javante as my number 3 just because of the opportunity that he has now in Dallas.
And a shot later on in a redraft, like you said, if he ends up being the guy on a Dallas Cowboys team as far as the running back, you got a guy. You got a guy easily.
Yeah,
So that's a smart move, especially if you can get him good in a good round. But
Yeah, like I don't think he's gonna like break
nah,
fantasy, but I think he'll
no,
be
yeah, let's not get
like
that
he can
twisted.
be a. I mean, he can be a top 20 guy if
The
he's
value is what we're kind of like
getting
talking about
fed.
with some of these picks. A lot of these picks, I'd probably say the value more so than like we're just crazy about it. Like it's something that could
Yeah,
easily pan out for you in a redraft if you get him late. Take a shot on him.
exactly,
You
absolutely.
got a
Because
running
yeah,
back. You got two good running backs, and you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna see if Javonte Williams works out and draft
yeah,
him.
like I said, the free agency isn't that loaded right now, so
No,
it's so he's
Najee was
definitely one of
probably
those
the
guys
top
that
running
helps.
back, I think. Really, if you think about it.
Najee, you can say that. Yeah, I guess he
Yeah,
is. But
who really else comes to mind? I can't think of
yeah, like
anybody.
nah. So like, yeah, really, he is like him and Javante were the two guys that probably stand out to me. But I don't think Najee's that good, honestly. So I don't think he's
I
gonna
think
be.
I think we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But do you
Yeah,
have any
but
final words on Javonte Williams before we move on?
no. But
Alrighty.
I hope. But as a Steelers fan, I hope everybody fails in Dallas and they suck again.
All right, I like it. All right, so we'll move on to my guy, my number 3 in redraft, Evan Ingram. Now I know you were saying about him, you thought about putting him on your list because he's your guy.
It would have been biased. It would have been
I
biased.
I love
I
me
do
some
like him
Evan
though.
Ingram too. That's why I got him on my list here. I like me some Evan Ingram.
Yeah, he's
Sadly, he did get
so
injured. I had him
expensive.
in redraft this year, and he put up some points for me. But he got banged up a little bit this year, sadly.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
really
so
got
Evan
hurt.
Ingram, I do like him in redraft if you can get him at a decent price. He's 30 years old. He is coming off an injury, obviously, like I was just saying. But he did not have an injury. He really did not, as far as I know, he did not have an injury up until this year. Basically, when he was with the Jaguars, I don't think he missed any games.
With Jacksonville, no, he was
Yeah,
banged
I
up
don't.
in New York.
He was healthy pretty much the entire time. There was no problems. He was a baller for the Jaguars. Number two in 2023 as far as position rank in PPR, and number 5 in 2022. Like
He had
that's
a hundred catches,
stud numbers right
100,
there.
catches in 2023, by the way.
In 2023, how many did he have catches?
100 and I think he had like 111 or 112 in
I don't
2023.
see where it says. It doesn't say catches. Oh no, it says receptions. I'm an idiot. Duh.
Is it?
114 in 2023.
Woo.
114. Yeah, he got targeted a lot. He was an animal. He was number 2 in 2023. He was a dog. He was putting up like, dude, he was putting up like 30-point games and shit. Yeah, 25, 35, 20, 26. Yeah, he basically averaged double doubles every single game.
And then Brian Thomas got drafted and took over
Yes,
that
and now
role.
well, Trevor Lawrence got banged up for a few games, and then but Evan Ingram was banged up when Trevor was there, and then he ended up there was I think like 1 or 2 games where he wasn't there. Yeah, so there was some of that. He just wasn't and then he came back from injury and he was doing all right. Like his first game back, he put up 20. Like his worst game was 8 points, but he still put up 14, 12, 11, 12. And for a tight end, like if you can get a tight end to put up double
Double
digits,
doubles.
double digits for you, I'd take that as far as a tight end spot, especially if you have a good roster overall. You just need your tight end to do something for you, not to suck. So it worked,
Exactly.
and he was fine. It was just he was banged up. And as far as him being with the Broncos, Bo Nix looked pretty damn good last year. People were kind of hating on him a little bit, and I was kind of one of those people who were like, I don't know about Bo Nix, but he looked a lot better, especially towards the end of the year. And him being that top tight end, I mean, they don't have anybody else. Lucas Kroll, Adam Troutman. Like, I try to take some flyers on some of these guys, and it never worked out. I think Troutman and Kroll actually both got injured. So, I mean, Ingram's going to be the guy there. And in a Sean Payton offense, I wouldn't doubt if he freaking lights it up this year.
Yeah, I will say Touchdown Payton hasn't have like a great history with tight ends and like putting up numbers and that kind of thing. But Ingram isn't really like
your
Like I
typical tight
see him as
end.
more of
Yes.
like a very like good slot receiver.
Yeah, and I think
So
that's what I think Sean Payton will use him more so as just a straight pass catcher. So I don't think we're gonna have to worry too much about that.
yeah,
So I think honestly, and again, the value is what I'm kind of relaying here. It's just if you can get him at a good in a round later in the draft, and he even like if you draft a good team and he's like later in the draft and he could be your tight end one, and you want to just take a shot on him, do it. Because if you draft him and he puts up close to what he did in 2022 and 2023, he's gonna light it up for you, and he's gonna take you to the playoffs as long as you have a good roster. Obviously, him alone, no, but you get what I'm saying. So
yeah.
I
I
like
mean,
Evan
honestly,
Ingram.
looking at what he had last
Ooh,
year,
excuse me.
he only played what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Didn't play a
6,
lot.
8,
Yeah,
8 games. I think got hurt
yeah,
the first
probably
game.
like
No,
less than half. I
yeah,
think I'm looking here. He missed two,
yeah.
four, 6, 7.
He
Yeah,
still had what? It's 20, 30. He still had like 40. He almost had 50 receptions last
he
year,
still put up decent.
playing
Like I was saying,
half the
still
season.
put up decent points. Yeah, he wasn't in.
Yeah.
So it's not like
So
first game
yeah,
back
I
he had
would.
10 catches, 10 targets, 10 receptions for 102 yards. He'll do that for you.
Mhm. Yeah, I just think like with how the Broncos offense was going, like they were like very like they were trying to run the ball a lot. They were trying to make like big plays. Bo Nix was involved in a lot of that, like running the ball and everything. So or I'm sorry, yeah, for the Broncos, like so. I think that they give Bo Nix more of that responsibility. He is going to make those reads and find the open
Yeah, in
man.
year 2, yeah.
And Ingram has been one of the best guys at getting open. So
That's what I just think I think it'll be it's a good flyer move. Like it's not like just even a flyer, but just to, like I said, take a gamble on him being your tight end one, because if it works out and you get a good value on him, he's gonna be that guy who's gonna help you win a championship. Because like last year, like my value picks as far as like Brian Thomas Jr., like those guys, those value picks at the end of redraft are gonna win you your shit.
I love Brian Thomas Jr.
Yo, he was a
Like last
dog, bro.
year,
I was
and I
so
never had
hyped.
a chance to draft him. I
I'm
never
so
had a chance
happy I
to
got him in
draft him.
redraft, dude. So happy.
Man, I was upset. Like, man, I was right, and I just didn't capitalize on it. I should have just dug a little bit. Like, I should have got him like the fourth or fifth round and just
Well, I got
reached
him
for him a
cheap.
little
I
bit.
got him cheap. Like I
Yeah,
can't remember where I got him, but it wasn't like I think it might have been like closer to round
I
like
think you got him like round 6,
I
round
think it had to be
7.
somewhere. That's what I was thinking, 6 or later, like 6 to 8, somewhere around there,
Yeah,
probably. Where?
actually, I can look it up.
Oh yeah, we can. The redraft thing shows you where you drafted him at. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
draft. Res- There we go.
yeah, I'm on this V2 right now.
All right, the natural Brian Thomas Jr. Freaking 8th round, man.
Yeah, 8th. That's what I was saying. Okay, that was right then. 6. Yep. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I was between him and Robinson.
I
Robinson, I
got,
could
dude.
do,
I great value in redraft this year for me.
yeah. You got Lad too.
I
Like
even
that
had
was.
Lad and I traded him away like an idiot, but
He still won.
I still had him as far as value to trade away though. That's the thing. Like my
Yeah.
redraft team was disgusting.
But yeah. And any more?
I don't have
More
any more to
thoughts
say on Ingram, so I'm
Evan?
cool on that.
Cool.
Yep. I like him. So, oh well. Your number 2 redraft. We'll go back to you on yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a guy that I thought was too old, too slow.
Too old.
And honestly, he could still be that thing, but he's getting a new opportunity. So I'm gonna go Debo Samuel
Oh,
for the now Washington Commanders.
Jaden Daniels,
Let's
baby.
face it,
Another guy I got in redraft.
he was not good last year. Debo Samuel was the wide receiver.
Oh, trust me, I know.
44. he had a really good first 2 weeks, and he only cracked 10 points or more 4 weeks
Not many.
after that. The
Yeah.
rest of the season.
I think I had him one game. He did good for me.
And I was like, there was one week I was like, oh, he's gonna break out. He's gonna like That ended up being the game where they like
25 points in
maybe
Miami. That was it.
yeah, but that wasn't it. It was the week before. It was LA. They tried to feed him the ball and he just couldn't catch the ball. It was
Yeah, dude,
atrocious.
right into his
That was like
hands. That was the
that
game
was like
everyone was
the
making fun of him with the memes and shit.
yeah, it was like the Thursday night game against LA where like the offense were atrocious. So,
Oh man.
but here's the thing: he's going to a fantastic offense,
Yes.
an offense that's going to know how to use him.
Hell yeah.
And
Let's go.
yeah, they got Terry there. I know they got some good backs back
Woo.
there,
Scary
but you
Terry.
also got Jaden Daniels back there, and
The phenom.
my God, if he can get a connection with Debo Samuel, Debo can go back to exactly where he was a few years ago, where he was like a top 15 guy. So I don't know if that's going to be like him now, but I still see him being a valuable, you know, if you're like throwing like a late round flyer, like the eighth, ninth round, like you're like, oh, Debo's there, and I would take him in a heartbeat.
Oh no, I
And
feel that. Hell yeah. I've 100% with you on this one.
yeah, like I said, he is 29, so he's not that old, but he
He
is.
still showed he had some
Um,
wheels last year. I mean, as far as dropping the ball, that was one thing, but it still looked like he could fucking move.
yeah, but the entire 49ers offense was also they also took a step
Yeah.
down. They
Yes, this
also
is
weren't
true.
as good, and they had a lot of injuries and everything. So he just really couldn't get rolling. So, but and they had a lot of guys there too. Like they had Jennings, they had
Well,
IU
wasn't
that
he
totally
supposed
got
to be
hurt.
that? Wasn't he like the main guy for a minute because everyone was injured as far as receivers? Because they didn't have Pearsall for a minute, then they lost Ayuk for an injury.
Yeah,
So he was like the number one guy, and I don't think he is a number one guy. So I think that's kind of the struggle where the struggles came
yeah. I
too.
think you give like I say, if you give him like a compliment role, I think he's gonna ball out. I think he's gonna be really good. He's gonna be for PPR especially. I think he's going
Yes,
to be a guy that can get you like 5 to 6 catches a game,
I
get you
probably even
40,
feel
50
like in
yards.
standards too, he'd probably be a good play.
Yeah, standards like as far as like actual receiving work, he only hit 100 yards twice this season. Last season,
Well, as far as the mindset there is that scary, like you were saying with Terry there, he will get opened up a lot. And with Jaden, like you can't really focus on him, so he's gonna have like I feel like he'll have more
yeah,
opportunities to make explosive plays, like he really was doing before.
and also running the ball. I think
Yeah, that
having those
too.
formations with like Eckler and
Yeah,
James Robinson, having him back in the backfield in those two running back sets, like I think they can use him in a lot of different ways. So I think he's going to be a big part of the offense this coming year. So yeah, Debo, as far as free agency, like I think it's a big move. I think and I
was
believe
he
that was a
traded
trade.
or was he signed in free agency? I think
He
he was
was
traded.
traded.
Yes,
Yeah,
for like what, a
like
fifth or a sixth or some shit.
something like that. Yeah, it was a cheap buy, and I think Washington made out like
Dude,
Ghostbusters there.
Washington, they got Laramie Tunsil too, dude. Yo,
They're gonna
I'm a
be.
Commander fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Commander
I'm a
fan.
big
Jaden
Commander fan
Jaden
now.
Daniels got me, bro. He got me.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker. Like, yeah, I know, and I'll shout out you and Dan for that, calling out Jaden Daniels over Williams, cause
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
that
based
shit. I
on
drafted him over May and didn't. It's the best thing I've ever did having that dude in both my dynasty leagues.
and even saying that, I won't give myself that much credit. I didn't think like the quarterbacks are gonna all be like that good. Like I thought it was more on the part of
No, but
Williams
Caleb
on stepping
Williams
up to
was
what he
the
is.
count, like the basically the everyone was saying the 101 basically. Like there was probably a few
Yeah.
guys out there saying Daniels, but really it was Williams. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's basically Williams, and that was it. Like he was the 101, the inso facto, or
Yeah.
whatever you say there. But yeah,
Yeah. I just like Williams. Like I said, I think he was just too out there as far as like the number one guy. I was like, I don't think that's true. I think Daniels is pretty close. And honestly, I
that's
think he's better. He is better.
his deep
Um,
ball is what got me. Like they were talking. After you and Dan were, I did a lot of homework on that guy and started watching a lot of shit. And the thing where I fell in love with him was his deep ball. He would he'd throw it, especially those corner ones, and you've seen it during the games. He did it a lot this season.
yeah.
He'd
And
throw
I
those
see a
deep
lot
balls
of
towards the
that,
corner, and it was perfect, right in the basket, dude. Like
right?
it was beautiful, beautiful, effortless too.
Yeah, I do also see a lot of that in Cam Ward, like the guy coming out of Miami this year. Like
I
I
need
see
to
a lot
do
of
a
that.
little
Like
more on that. I need to check.
yeah,
Yeah, I need to
he
do.
looks very calm, collective, and I think that can also be like a bad thing for him because he doesn't have like Daniels' like speed running. He's definitely more of a pocket passer, a calm pocket passer, but I feel like he
He's
can
a
impact a
big
lot.
dude, ain't he, though, too? Like, he seems like he'd be
He's pretty
like,
big, yeah.
yeah.
Like he stands in there, he takes his shots. He's
At least he looked pretty
I
big with
could
some of the highlights I was watching. He looked like a pretty decent, like, pretty big guy.
yeah.
As
Well,
far
he's
as, like, just a quarterback goes, I should say. Clarify that.
it
Not
was
saying,
like his
like...
like 5th year too, so he was a little
Oh,
older than
okay. All right.
but yeah.
Yeah, I got to
But
do my
yeah, like I
research
said,
on
there's
the more on the quarterbacks. I haven't really paid attention to it because there isn't too many guys, but yeah,
nah, it wasn't like last year with like Daniels and Williams and all them. So, but yeah, I like
I
I said,
like
but
it.
back to Debo. Like, hey man, if anybody won the free agency so far, I think it's Washington, and I think
Oh,
Debo's a big part of
absolutely.
that. Yep.
All
What
right.
about your number two?
My number 2 is the guy we was talking about earlier, Najee Harris. And this is another one to where I feel some people are going to um not like Najee, like not love him, but not like it's gonna be like he's gonna be in the middle of the road. I feel like a lot of them are gonna either like love that opportunity there, or they're gonna not really be like, it's Najee. I don't think blah blah blah. Kind of like you were saying, like you just don't believe he's that guy, which is fine. But him being on a Chargers team with Jim Harbaugh, I messed that up the other day. I was writing my notes and I said John Harbaugh, but Jim Harbaugh, get that right. Jim Harbaugh. But yeah, I mean, they don't have those two, who was it? The guys from the Raiders, Dobbins and, dang it, I'm spacing on the other guy.
They had Vidal.
The
And they
Ravens
also
guys.
had
What was it?
Gus
Dobbins and,
Edwards.
yes, Gus Edwards.
Edwards.
That's it. Yeah, they're not on the team anymore. It's just him and Vidal. And I would assume they probably will draft a running back. I don't know how early. His value kind of will, if they draft one early, obviously his value is going to take a hit, but we're not taking that into consideration right now. He's the top guy on a Chargers team who likes to run the ball, likes to have big offensive linemen. So I feel Najee could be very successful in this offense, even if he doesn't run a lot of yards. I feel like he could get like a touchdown a game just because if they get close, they're gonna try to use him. So even if it's just like him getting like 15 points a game, like not averaging anything crazy like 20 or anything like that, but if he's just like a good number RB2 type of guy, I feel if you can get him a little later on, like, because shit, now I feel like you probably could get him around probably near, if I would say probably what, round 5, I'd probably take a chance on him around there. Because if you get two, you figure if you get two, you get a good quarterback, 2 good receivers, a running back or something, and he's still there, and is, like I said, an RB2, I'd take a chance on him. Because I've seen he runs with a lot of power. Like, the one thing was for a long time, and being a Steeler fan, he couldn't hit the home run. He couldn't hit the home run. Like, it just never happened. And I don't know if it was the Steelers as, like, a whole, but there's running backs who've been on bad teams who still break out runs on a bad team, and he never did it. Never, yeah. So this one's tricky. I've like this one, even me now, like I'm still conflicted a little bit. I just feel like him being on that team could be very good for him because the Steelers weren't exactly lighting it up in the model of a great offense in the league over the last few years. So I'm trying to think of it that way as well. And yeah, if you can get him as an RB2, I'd take a shot on him because again, if he can put up close to 15 points a game, I'll take it as an RB2 easily.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't like dislike Najee. I think like he runs hard, he runs with power. He's
It's
a big
tricky.
guy. He had 3 straight 100-yard games, and I was like, okay, this is the Najee that we're waiting to see. And he never broke 100 yards again after that. That's why I was like,
Yeah,
this is.
it's weird.
And
Like,
to the point where they didn't trust him. He ran the ball 6 times against Philly, 9 times against Baltimore, 6 times against Baltimore in the wild card game. They did not trust him when like the actual big game came about.
well, we needed Warren to
And
make big plays. to break huge plays, and Najee can
And
never do
honestly,
that for us.
and this might be a bit of a like honestly like tell me I'm wrong. I think Jalen Warren's a better running back than Najee Harris.
And
As
that's a
far as
lot of where people. I think that's where a lot of the like kind of the dislike for Najee comes in, because that's where a lot of people I feel think, or a lot of people's mindset is at, is Warren is the better running back than Najee
yeah,
Harris. And I'm not gonna uh, that one I can't really agree or like I'm on the fence with that one, because Warren did come out and he showed energy, and that's where Najee lacked sometimes, and then he needed Warren to come out and kind of like push him a little bit,
yeah.
you
At
know.
the end of the day, though, I agree with everything you said as far as he is going to a better offense. He is going to
Yes,
LA,
it's a
who
more
has
upside anyway.
who has a better quarterback. They
Yeah,
have
definitely.
I wouldn't say they had a better receiving core, but they still have a good
Nah,
receiving core
Lad,
with
he's a guy, and if they draft somebody.
Vlad and like Mike Williams to get another shot there. That's
Oh
fine,
yeah, I
but
did see they signed him. Yeah.
yeah, and I think they were thinking about trading for like a tight end like Dallas Carter or somebody like that. But
Who is their
that
tight end? Is it
aside,
still just Will Disley? Yeah,
it's
it is
still
still
like
Will
Will
Disley.
Disley and like
Tucker Fisk. That's a dope name.
Tucker Fisk. Yeah, but they had Stone Smart who I added and actually started in the game, so he was there. But yeah, it was right now they don't really have like a tight end.
President.
But yeah, President. He's but at the same time, Najee was a top 20 running back still last year, and
thousand yard season every single year.
1,000 yard season. So yeah, he's not a pushover, but I don't expect him to be
Light it up.
like I
Yeah.
like I said, I'm okay with him now as our RB2 just because he's gonna get more
Yes, and RB
opportunities.
two. Yes, that's where
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
because
be
I
like
don't
no RB1. No, RB2 is where I.
because Vidal's not taking a drop from him. I want to see who they draft because if they draft like
That's what I
higher,
was. Yeah.
like they get like a Travion Henderson or they get like a him somebody like that,
Exactly.
like then I'm like, all right, now she's back to being
Oh, his it
just
takes a hit for sure, and that's what I was saying earlier.
yeah.
It definitely takes a hit, but as far as right now, he's the guy. And like you
But like I
said,
said, I
if
think
he
he
go ahead,
good,
you're good.
cool. I think he's gonna get more opportunity. I think he's gonna have a better opportunity to like score
Yes, for
on this
sure.
team too, just because they are going to be moving the ball down the field with Herbert and Ladd, and he is gonna get that short yardage work. He's gonna get that goal line work, right away.
No, and
So
that's the thing. No one's taking that from him because he's very good at that.
yeah, so I like this as like the flip side of Javante, where like he comes from a situation where
Kinda,
um
yeah, a little
they
bit,
thought he was the guy and he
except a little.
wasn't, and he left and he signed somewhere where he's getting like a bit of an upgrade on who his guys are. So
The only
um
thing is that what Najee is doesn't have the injury issue. He's been. I don't think Najee missed a game at all. No, he missed
Najee
one
has
game this
played
year. Was that due to an? It was due to an injury, but it
it
was
was,
one
but
game.
he's played 17 games
Every single. Well,
every
last year he missed
single
one.
year.
Yeah,
He missed
this
a
last
number.
season he missed one against Cleveland, and then 2023 he missed one against Dallas.
Yeah.
2022 one again. It just seems like he misses one game a year. Like damn, and around the
Yeah.
same time too. It's kind of crazy.
I didn't know he was the number 3 running back in 2021. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was I think the
Because
last year with Beg.
just
He
because
was
Ben
number
pumped
3
the
his
ball
rookie
off to
year. He
him.
balled that year. He threw it to him
Yeah.
so much. He threw it to him a
He
lot.
as far as like PPR, yeah. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think it's gonna be like I said, I don't think it's gonna be that. So he's gonna rely more on
No,
his
no,
running
no, no.
ability, and that is significantly going to make him like more of like you said, maybe an RB2. I think that's where he
A high
ends up at the
potential
end of the season.
RB2. Like if he
Yeah,
ends up being the guy there, like we were saying earlier, if they don't draft a guy early, then he's probably going to be the guy there. Like he's going to get
yeah,
most of the touches and not just the goal line work. So
yeah. Like
it's
if
a high
he's the
potential,
guy, he's
RB2.
cracking. Yeah, he's cracking the top 20 again if he's that guy. So
Yeah, there, yeah,
yeah.
boom, right there.
But yeah, I like that pick though. I like that as your number 2. So any more
Nope, I'm
add-ons?
good.
Cool.
On to your number 1.
My number 1 might be your number 1 too, right? Or did you?
I still have my number 1 the same. So who do you got? We'll go. I'll just let you say it, and we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, no worries. So we agreed on this. We agreed on number 1 in both Dynasty and Redraft. So
Okay, so Adams.
Devontae Adams and Redraft. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, buddy, look.
Yeah.
Listen,
Hell yeah.
listen.
Let's go.
Devontae Adams, league winner every single year. I
Yes.
don't care if he's on Green Bay. I don't care if he's in Las Vegas. I don't care if he's on the Jets with an old Aaron Rodgers. I don't care that he's in LA. And honestly, I'm so
Yo.
excited that he is in LA right now.
Yes.
This guy is the he is a unicorn of a talent. He is like the Derrick Henry for wide receivers. He is,
Yeah. I love that
and
comparison,
I
bro.
I
I
am
love
looking
that.
at
I love that.
right.
I
I
love
just
that.
came into my mind right now. I didn't
Boom.
even I didn't even have that set up. He is,
Off the cuff,
and I'm
baby.
looking alpha cuff. And as far as what he's done, like in the fantasy playoffs for teams every year, I'm looking at his game log.
42
Last
points
year,
against
boy
Jacksonville.
put 42 points,
Yo.
19 points, 20 points if you were a week 18 guy. Let's see, 2023. Let's go. 24 points if you survive the semifinal round. 37 points in the championship week.
It's crazy,
2022,
dude.
34 points in the championship
Like,
week. 2021, let's keep on going, buddy.
you can
16
just rattle
points,
off these
33
insane numbers
points,
all day,
30
dude.
points.
Swear.
Like he is, especially late in the season, and you just go to him.
No, like you said, he's a
Dude is
championship winner.
he's a league winner. The
Yes.
dude, I don't think has finished less than top.
Dude,
He
he
finished.
still looked good last year, dude. He had his
He
struggles when he
finished
just got to the
11th.
Jets. Like I did see he
Yeah,
dropped some, but later on, like when they started clicking a little more, like he was right back to what he was doing.
he finished 11th. He still had 17 average points, and that was with getting hurt or
Well,
not.
he
Or
missed, I think, those two
quote
games in the
unquote
beginning.
hurt.
I think he, those were the when he was with the Raiders still, and he just wasn't playing games. I thought. I
Yeah,
don't think he was actually. Well, I think they were saying he was injured, but I think that was more so like, get me the fuck out of here.
yeah. The first 3 games he played. The next 3 games he was quote unquote.
Well, 2 games and then a bye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Chicago,
then
Green
he
Bay.
had to get accustomed to the Jets. After that, he averaged easily
Yeah.
20 something points a game.
17, 25, 42, 19. 9 was his lowest one in week 17, but 20 points in against Miami.
Yeah,
Like,
so
give me that all freaking day.
like if you got a great team and you have Devontae Adams, you're really going to like
He's
he's
a wide
probably
receiver
been
one.
more.
Like, he's your, like, he's a
In
superstar
redraft,
receiver
dude.
in
In
any format,
redraft,
really. Like,
easy.
even of 1 year in
Honestly,
Dynasty. Like, I have him in Dynasty after trading with Aaron, and I'm happy I did now because he's with the freaking Rams, baby. Woo!
right? Right? So, like I said, I would say in redraft, you have Jefferson, you have Chase, you might have CD,
He's top 5,
and
borderline top 5.
I'm saying
Adams?
Puka's good, man, but
Oh,
Adams
Puka's
is
my
right there
boy.
too.
Puka's my boy.
And now you have both of them on the same team,
Yo!
and he's taking that Cooper Cup role. He's going to take it to the next level.
I'm a little schoolgirl right
But
now, dude.
as long as he isn't like, as long as he doesn't fall off, he's 32. He is 32. That's the one thing against him is like, hey, he's 32. He's a little more injury prone. Like, I get that.
I don't think
But
he's
this
injury
guy,
prone.
uh, I mean, older guys in general are
Oh, yeah, more
injury
higher
prone.
risk of injury. Yeah.
Although he hasn't been hurt since.
I don't
2021.
recall really anything having any significant
No,
shit with him, to be honest.
no. Like I said,
It looks like the last
great.
few years he hasn't really missed any games. He's missed a few. He missed a few in 2021. I'm not gonna go to 2020. That's pretty far back. But last 3 years he hasn't missed. Yeah, like 4 games, 5 games, and then 2024. I mean, you can add on to that, but again, that was
Yeah,
kind of just a Raiders situation
right.
too. So
So he's so good. He may even be in my dynasty list. We'll see. But
I'm not letting go of him in Dynasty. Like Dan has him in V2, so you'll have to go to him to try to get him. But unless someone overpays for Adams and the OG Dynasty, I'm not letting him go. He's gonna be playing. He's gonna be in my starting lineup right next to Puka, baby. Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
He's really good. But yeah, I guess like I don't think there's much more to say other than
And
he went to the team that got him is a team that's going to be really good next year.
yes, and that was the best thing
And
about it is because he went to like almost a perfect team, basically, if you think about
yeah,
it. Like as far as
yeah,
like where he could go, and as far as like keeping up fantasy numbers, the Rams are perfect. They're perfect.
right. Like so, like out of all the guys in like free agency, like for redraft, like he's out of all the guys that got traded or picked up in free agency, who's going
This
to score
is
the most points?
this is my
It
favorite one. Yeah,
it's
I'm right there
Devontae
with you.
Adams. So,
Because
but yeah,
I was talking to, I was saying this the other day. Like, yeah, the Jets thing, but he's just so good. He's so good, and the Rams, like, they're always good. Like even when they thought people thought they were gonna suck, like they still ended after losing Aaron Donald. Everyone's like, oh, they're gonna drop off,
yeah.
blah blah. Then they get draft Puka, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, and their defense is still good. Then they draft that other, like, yeah, they're right there again. As long as they have
They're in the
McVay,
playoffs.
as long as they have McVay, like in McVay I trust, baby, like because that dude just went like I love him.
And I'm sorry, who's the one team that actually gave the Eagles a run for their
Yeah,
money in the
that's a lot of
playoffs?
yep. I
It
see
was
that a
the Rams.
lot. I see that a
And
lot.
now they're better. So go look out, man. LA might be good next year.
Because I've seen, like you just said about the Rams, I've seen that on social media quite a few times to where everyone was like, the Rams, they were the only team that pushed them. And they were so close to winning that game, too. That's the thing about
It
it.
was a snow game. It was a snow
Yeah.
game. So like it's a
Which
factor, but
that affects
I
both
still
teams.
don't. I still don't care. I still think that's a close game, regardless of the weather.
They were
So
both very good teams, so I'm not going to hate on the Eagles for winning that. The Eagles are very good. I mean, Saquon Barkley, it was meant to be. Like, he sat out that one game to not get his numbers
yeah,
to be. Like, it kind of just was almost meant to be. And he was just not, I feel like Barkley was just on a mission this year. He wasn't going to be denied, you know?
exactly.
And it was pretty obvious throughout the year in the playoffs, even. Like, he was lighting it up.
Yeah, I'm happy for Saquon. Yeah,
I'm
a
happy for
Saquon guy.
Saquon, yes. I'm happy for
So
him
like,
because he, like,
I definitely love
screw the
a Saquon
Giants, they're
guy.
idiots. Like, I don't really like the Eagles, so, but I'm happy, like, I'm at the same time, like,
He got
the
his
Giants, like, are worse, and they did him
AJ Brown
dirty.
too.
I like
AJ
AJ Brown too, yes. I'm kind of sad I did trade him away, but I'm happy with the overall. I got the pick and then got Adams out of it. I lost my 202 pick, but for Adams, I feel like that works out very well.
Yeah,
And honestly, I'm just not even gonna talk because I mean, Adams is my number one too. Obviously, he's yeah.
it's
He's so damn
it's really
good.
good. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to add anything for Adams,
No, I mean he's the guy. He's a guy like wide receiver.
Exactly.
Wherever if you can get a piece of him, yeah, like even redraft you can get like you said. It's not. He's going probably first round. Honestly, like I don't see him making it out of the first round in a lot of redrafts.
Redraft, he's like right there at the turn.
Yeah, like if he makes it out, he's definitely like not going past. Like he's getting drafted on the turn around the 201. Like I wouldn't let him go if I had the 112 in the 201. I'm not letting go of him. There's no way. I'm getting him.
Yeah, and honestly, like if he was like 5 years younger, I'd probably take him.
Oh, could you imagine like a 2 year younger Stafford and like a 2 year younger Adams and like a rookie Puka or some shit? Like, dude, that shit. Like, I love Cup. Don't get me wrong, but he's not here right now, so I can't really include him, sadly, because I do love me some Cooper Cup. That's my boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be insane. It's still gonna be insane. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Anyways, I will do since you talked about him mostly. I will just jump onto our bonus pick. We did a top 3 as far as Redraft and Dynasty, and then we have a bonus pick. And my bonus pick is someone I was just talking about, Cooper Kupp. And this is just me going purely off value. I feel like some people are gonna see he will fall a bit, reasonably so. He's had some injury issues, and at the end of the year, he didn't look so hot. He did look a little better. Like, there's a few instances he looked like his old self, but, I mean, 0 points where I think he got injured that game, 5-3, like, and then so it wasn't a great ending to the season, but, I mean, still, his first game, 32, 16, 21, 15, 28, 20, 20. Like his lowest games 4, 7, and those were 2 game 5. Well, and yeah, the end of the season ones were bad, but other than that, fantastic numbers, wide receiver 1 numbers. And Sam Darnold is probably going to be another reason why people will probably decline his value, because some people aren't really sure on him yet. And being on a Vikings offense, you kind of feel more secure about that just because who's the coach there? Oh man, I'm spacing on the coach. Oh no.
It ain't Pete Carroll, I'll tell you that much.
Vikings head coach. Sorry, people. Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell. He is great running the offense. And last year I had faith in Sam Darnold starting, and he lit it up. He did kind of crumble in the playoff game, but he wasn't. I'm not going to hold that too much against him, because that was really his only playoff game, I think. Because I don't, as far as like him being with the Jets and shit, he wouldn't have started. I don't think he ever would have started a playoff game.
Darnold started the one playoff game, yeah, against the Rams last year for the Vikings.
Yeah, so one playoff game. So, I mean, I'm not like, that was his first time in a playoff game. I can understand the struggle of it. He was on a bad team for, like, that Jets organization is not very good right now. And so I'm not going to hold that too much against him. And he did ball out for the Vikings all year, pretty much all year until that time. Like, he had some hiccups here and there, but ultimately he was pretty damn good. And with Cooper Kupp, and now I would probably assume the number 1 and Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is a good talent, a great talent. A lot of people really like him. And if Cooper's a number 2 and can stay healthy, they have a good running game. He's not going to be the number 1, so he's not going to have to worry about taking too much attention away. He's going to have a lot of freedom, I feel. And that's a potential to put up some pretty damn good points. And if you can get him cheap in a redraft, do it. Because, I mean, if he's healthy and on the field and he's putting up Cooper Kupp numbers, he's just like Devontae Adams. He's going to be a league winner for you. Because, I mean, again, 32, 28, 20, 21, 15, 20. Those are winning numbers right there. And, yeah, I love Cooper Kupp. I am biased on it, so that's why he's on my list a little bit too. But he's a great player as well. And I have faith in Sam Darnold.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about it more and more. One, I'm a Cooper Kupp stan. I love Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, well, you know me. I drafted him in redraft as a rookie. That's how much fucking I love that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's great. I will say, the offense as it looks right now, like, yes, they got rid of DK Metcalf. Yes, they got rid of Geno. Lockett. But I'm
Lockett was older though. Like, what was Lockett really doing there at the last? Like,
Lockett wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, so I'm not.
I had him in Dynasty and I dropped him. So,
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Like he is approaching the end of his career. Sam Darnold was not much of a drop off from Geno Smith.
I don't think so either. That's kind of where, yes,
he could, like, he balled out for Minnesota.
Boom.
And
he could be better.
He's got to still prove himself, like, during the big games and everything.
And especially being on a new team, he's not on that good Vikings offense anymore.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold is a decent quarterback. If they can keep him upright, like, I don't think I think he's going to be very productive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, they have Kenneth Walker, they have Zach Charbonnet the running game. If they use that and then like hold like get them going, like you said, you have Jackson Smith, like Jigba, who broke out last year. Like, it wasn't a huge breakout, but it was a breakout.
I saw quite a few highlights of him when he needed to be the guy and he was making some great plays.
Yeah, and now you add a guy who's gonna be like a nice safety valve for Sam Darnold, who can like be that guy that can get like, if he can still get open, he's gonna get a lot of receptions. And this is the team that it was, I think 6th in passing yards, 7th in pass attempts. He's gonna get a lot of volume. So like I said, like, I don't see him as like I don't see him as like the guy anymore. But I still think of him as a top 30 wide receiver. Like I don't think he's gonna be, like I don't think he's just gonna be like terrible like he was last season. But last season he was hurt, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
He's not.
anything fruitful.
He's not. I feel. I get what I agree that he's not going to get as many targets because Stafford did like throwing his way a lot,
Yeah,
and they did.
actually, I think he is going to get more targets
I don't
than he
think.
did last year.
Oh, you think he's getting more?
I think he's getting. I think he's getting like. I
I
think
mean,
he's
he
getting
got
like.
like a lot of the games he was targeted almost 10 times. I mean, the one game he was targeted 21 times. I guess kind of
I
crazy.
honestly, I don't think he's getting 21, but I think he's getting 8 to 10. Like if they
Okay,
pass a lot,
I'd take
like
that. I'd take that.
like I said, if their pass volume stays the same, I think he gets 8 to 10. I think Smith and Jigba gets 8 to 10.
If he
They
can
don't
get
really
eight
have
to
a
ten
third
targets a
guy.
game, I like that a lot.
Yeah, unless he drops somebody, I don't think they like that's what the other two guys. Jake Bobo's. I love Jake Bobo. I'm sorry, I love Jake Bobo. I don't see him as a slot receiver.
Yeah,
That's gonna be like a startable guy in fantasy right
yeah,
now.
I agree.
But I
And
think his offense is gonna be better though than I think people are giving them credit for. So,
if you can get Cooper Cup, let's say as your wide receiver 3, like a flex spot, I feel like that's
I'd love that.
perfect. Like that would be
I'd love that.
great. Like that would be
Yeah,
amazing. I'd
because
love
that's
him at
kind of like
that.
where he is at this point,
Yeah, I
unless he
mean, you could
proves
like if
us
he does good and
otherwise.
stays healthy, he could easily be a wide receiver 2, even a wide receiver 1 if he puts up like 15, 20 points a game, even because like they've seen it where 2 wide receivers could put up a lot of points together.
Yeah,
So it's definitely possible, and he has that potential. It's just, well, we had to see about it, so we haven't seen it with this Seahawks offense, and yeah, he's not with the
but yeah.
same guy in the same offense anymore.
Yeah, but he got picked up. They're gonna go through training camp together. And
Yeah,
I mean, JJ never got he never played the same dollar before, and he still had a great season. So I
yeah,
don't
true.
think it's gonna be. I think Donald is gonna be. Yeah, I think Donald's gonna be good for him.
All right, so we'll move on from that. I can talk about Keeper Cup all day. So we'll go to your bonus guy, and
Yeah, a
oh,
guy that he's kind of slipped through the weeds a little bit. A guy that really isn't that big of a name, but he went to a good team, and I think he needs him right now on the offense, and that is Christian Kirk, who is now on the Houston Texans.
oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah,
He was
so
banged
right
up a little
now
bit. Oh
he
yeah.
was he missed most of last year.
Yeah,
Um,
like a lot of it, most
and
of
and
it.
he missed a portion of the previous year. But before that, he was 11th overall in the receiving in 2022, 26th overall in 2021. That's where he is in Arizona. So his first year in Jacksonville was
Oh,
really
he lit
good.
it up, and Jack like Trevor Lawrence threw his way a lot.
Yeah, and he still had at least 10 points a game. Like he still averaged 10 points a game in 2023, even though he had a more down year. But it's because he was hurt.
He still put
So,
up almost 15 points a game, pretty much. 21, 15, 14, 6. Yeah, like there's 13, 19, 4. Like, I'll take him out of my flex.
yeah, like he's not a bad pickup, especially for Houston, who lost Tank Dell. He's likely not going to be like a
Yeah,
real
Kirk is the
serious
wide
part of
receiver
the
too, is
offense
what he's
next
listed at
year.
right now.
Yeah, Kirk is another. He's like, and I think he is, unless they decide to bring back Stephon Diggs.
Which I don't
Um,
think they will.
yeah, and even if they do bring back Diggs, I think Kirk slots in really well as the slot guy. And I think Stroud is gonna be making more like shorter reads and everything like that. I think he fits in really well. Like I said, like I'm basing this mostly off of like there isn't too many names in free agency right now that are like gonna make a big name for themselves. Um, but like I said, you have Nico, you have you have Stroud back there, you have Mixon. Like this is still a good offense when they do have the games where they get rolled. And if you add a Christian Kirk to that as another weapon, I think it's just gonna make them better. So yeah, I don't hate. I completely understand why they made this move, to get Kirk, and I think that it's gonna pan out really well for him and for the offense. So I don't think he's gonna be like a top 10 guy or anything like that, or even a top 20 guy. But I like him kind of where Cup is, like that
Yeah,
top 30 guy.
if you can may have him be your flex guy, and he can put up these
Yeah,
kind of like if he could put up double, like almost like I was saying 15 points a game or something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be great. And Tank Dell, the one thing that that I like this even more so is because I just don't really have faith in Tank Dell to stay healthy. Like he came back, wasn't the same. Like he had some production like he had 21 points, but then I think he just got injured again after that.
Yeah,
Like he
it wasn't like
just
he hurt his legs or anything. He broke his collar.
well he broke
So
like he had his leg like he basically had his leg snapped last year.
yeah, I
And
mean,
then
whatever.
he
But
came back,
Dell
wasn't the same. It took him a minute, and then he got it. Yeah,
finally he had some juice, and then he got hurt again.
yeah. So I just don't really
Works.
have faith that he can stay healthy. And I mean, Kirk isn't really. I mean, based off what has happened last year, it's really hard to say that he could be better. But just a few 2 years that I think this would be his third year, Tankto.
Yeah,
That
honestly, as far as a comparison, I really think Christian Kirk is like an older version of Tank Dell.
That's what I think.
Like
That's
they
exactly what I was
almost
gonna
look
say.
alike too.
Yes, I
I'm
feel
like,
like they're gonna want to use him to where like they were trying to use Tank Dell.
yeah, and if Tank Dell was healthy, and you tell me, hey, who's like one of your best picks right now as far as like a wide receiver, I'm like Tank Dell was gonna be up there. I mean, if Diggs was
Tank was
gone and he,
balling like for a while. Was like he was
yeah,
literally like he was like almost an untouchable there for a while. Like no one
yeah,
wanted to trade him unless you just overpaid the fuck out of him because
right.
he was just killing. Like he was getting so many targets even with Nico there.
So yeah, I think he's like I said, Kirk. I think he slots into that role perfectly. And Stroud's been like, hey, I love Tank Dell, and I think Christian Kirk's like that kind of player. So
I like
yeah,
this.
like I said, I mean, this could be nothing, but I think as far as like
We're taking a
what we
shot.
have in free agency, this is a shot. I would
Yeah,
take
I
Christian Kirk.
agree. I wouldn't be upset if Kirk fell to me and I needed a flex spot still and I drafted him. I definitely would not be upset about it. Especially if
Right.
they don't draft anybody. Especially if they don't draft anybody. I will I will be yeah, I'd be pretty giddy about having him at my flex spot. All right. Anyways, we're done with that. We went through the redraft list. We'll move on to the dynasty. I'm gonna say I'm gonna hop off here just super quick. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pause this and then we can just take like a short little break here. Um, you just finished talking about your bonus guys, so we can go and we'll
Yeah,
talk.
if you want to start with like, if you want to go first, then you can
Yeah,
wrap up. Like I wrapped up with Devontae, you can wrap up with
yeah, that's cool.
Justin Fields, and then you can just go first with the. Are we doing 3-2 bonus one then?
Yeah, we'll do the 3-2-1. Yeah, we'll do the 3-2 bonus and then we'll go back to the one.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. So my number 3 in dynasty is DK Metcalf. This one is going to be one that a lot of people will be torn on. I know you were conflicted about it. You said about you were conflicted on it. Flip between my pages, meow. All right. So, I looked at some trades, and this is the reason why I feel like he's a good value. Because even if Mason is the quarterback, Mason proved that he can throw the ball downfield. And DK is great at doing that. He can get downfield. He's fast as shit. He can make big plays. So if he can do that, I'll be very happy about it. And if I can get some like this, I saw a trade here. 2 quarterback, 12 man, basically our format. Just to be clarified, we do run a 12-man league, so a lot of these are going to be based off of kind of our format. So it's a super flex league and 12-man, start 9, I think. We have start 10, but it's a defense. So technically,
Yeah.
I think it's start 9. So here, I'll show real quick. I'll show the people. This is V2. Well, V2 as well, we have is a little different, but kind of the standard format for us is God, team? There we go. Okay, so a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end. In this one, we have 3 flex spots and then a super flex. We just don't have a defense, basically. We replaced it with a flex. So yeah, this is pretty much the format here. So pretty big dynasty. Not the biggest, but as far as like dynasty leagues go, it's relatively a bigger league, and we're pretty competitive too. So we will say that, and that kind of goes into some of my picks anyway. All right. Anyway, stop rambling. DK Metcalf, I like him. Mason, if they use him, I like him. He showed that he can move the ball with us. He had a little hiccup in the playoff game, but he bounced back. He had that interception, but throughout the rest of the game, he did fairly well for us. So I like him. And there's a potential we draft a guy. One guy I really like, and I think the chat in our chat for the league was saying Jackson Dart, a guy that can throw the ball downfield. So I think that's either way, we're probably going to look for a guy who can move the ball downfield. And if DK is a guy on our team, especially if we do keep Pickens, I'm hoping it works out because those two together would be fantastic. If they can work it out and play together, it'll be dynamic. So that's another reason why I like it because you can't really focus too much on one or the other. It's going to free up that guy. And if DK can make some big plays, I like him in fantasy or in dynasty specifically. And if you can get him, if you don't have him on your team, if you can get him, like I seen a trade here, someone traded for the 201. I don't really like that. That's kind of a little low for me. At least if I had DK, I don't know if I'd give it up for the 201. I looked it up on Keep Trade Cut. This seemed more of his value, like the 108, 109, 110. 110 is probably the lowest I would even go. And even then, I'd probably be like, hey, give me like a late second or some shit. Or like some guy I could maybe use. But as far as over like value and what his value is now and what it could be, I like it. And especially if you're a contender and you have like a late first round pick that you're not really too high on, because this is a very heavy running back draft class. So you really only have a few receivers that are projected to go in the first, like McMillan, Teteroa McMillan, I think his name, Teteroan,
Yeah,
something like
that's
that,
right.
and then Luther Burden. I think those are really the only two guys as far as wide receivers that are projected to go in the first round. Travis Hunter is a question mark right now because we don't know what he's gonna do. A lot of mock drafts I've seen as far as rookie drafts, he doesn't go in the first. He goes in the second because a lot of people aren't sure. And I feel like that's just them taking a gamble on it now since it's earlier drafts. And that's kind of what you would have to do. But yeah, not many receivers. So if you need a receiver and you have like the 109, like I said, and you can get DK on your team, I'd do that. I'd make that move for sure. No, I'm not he's not on my top 3 because I'm super in love with it. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Dang. Because I'm super in love with it, but it's there because I could see the potential of it working out very well with the Steelers. And they signed him to a big contract. They obviously want him there. So he's not going to move. If anybody's going to get moved, it's going to be Pickens. Pickens is going to be out the door. So he's going to be the guy for the Steelers. And maybe not
All
this
right.
year. Maybe not this year exactly, but maybe next year even. And this is a dynasty league. You don't have them just for a year like redraft. You have them multiple years. So if you can get him, get him. He's 27, I think. I think he just turned 27, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that.
I think he's gonna be
Is it going to
28,
be
but he's
well?
still young.
Is he closer to 20? Is he closer to 20, 26 or 28 or 28?
I think he's more
Well,
closer
no,
to
he'd be
20.
closer to 20. He'd be closer to 28 anyway. That was a stupid question to ask. Wow, that was really stupid. But
Yeah,
you
you're
get what
fine.
I'm saying. You get what I'm. Is he like? Did he just turn 20? Like,
Yeah.
I think they show the age on here somewhere. Let me look at that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw he was
Well,
27. What are your thoughts on DK? I typed in
uh,
players.
as a talent, I like him. He's a
Yes.
big, just, just guy. He's a big dude that can win you a one-on-one battle. He can run routes pretty well too. Like he's a good wide receiver. Like he's a really good wide receiver. Um, and he's had a lot of good seasons. He had that one year in 2020 where he just blew up and was like the number 6 guy, I think, for Seattle. Like as far as overall players in the NFL, had 2 more top 20 years, and then he kind of started regressing a little bit. I'm not sure exactly. I guess it was like the emergence of Jackson Smith, like
Yeah,
Enigma.
he started to come on
That
later in the
JSN.
season.
Yeah, so that's what caused DK to kind of fall away from what he was doing earlier in the season.
Yeah, and
But
he
if you're
had
being
28,
taken
20,
over,
15, 19, like some big
but if you're
games.
being taken over by a younger guy, you're going to another team that also has a younger guy as of
Yeah,
this
but
very moment.
Pickens though, like, is he better than DK?
Yeah, because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for him. But he's moving from an offense that was like sixth in pass yards and pass attempts
Yeah, that is
to a
true.
team that was 26th in pass yards and 29th in pass attempts.
Yep, very true.
So,
It
and
is a
I don't
lesser
think it's
offense.
getting, and like I don't know, they probably are going to pass more, but I don't see him being like, and he was the number 32 wide receiver last year, as far as what Sleeper says. So I don't think he's gonna be getting maybe the same as George Pickens,
Yeah,
like
32,
maybe
21, 16, 14, yeah, 7.
yeah. Like he might be getting you some bad weeks. He might be getting you his 14 points. He might be putting up that 20 spot here and there, but I don't think he's gonna be like like I said, I didn't really put him in my redraft just because I don't think he's gonna be
Yeah,
that
redraft I did not.
safe of a spot.
Yes, I kind of agree. The dynasty thing is where I feel more comfortable getting him and taking a chance on him. And especially like I was saying before, if you're already a good team, because obviously if you have more times than not, if you have like the 109, if you're later in the first round, if it isn't somebody else's pick and it's yours, obviously you were a good team and you were basically you were pretty much a contender. Like you were
Yeah,
there, you were in the playoffs, you were in the hunt. So if he's a guy, like I said, you need someone in the flex running backs. Like as far as like a flex spot, I feel more comfortable using a wide receiver more so than a running back, unless you just have like that good of a running back. More times than
yeah.
not, I'd prefer to use a wide receiver at those spots. And
And
DK
now
would
like
be perfect if you needed just that piece.
yeah. And now, but here's the thing. Now that's like the redraft side I was thinking about. The dynasty side, I think, as far as like movement, as far as like what team he's on now, it is a regression right now. But if you get that quarterback, if you get Jackson Dart, if you get a guy that'll be really good here in a couple of years, I think that makes him a lot better.
Or even if
Um,
Mason Mason looked pretty solid. Like he had some
Mason,
pretty good deep. He threw the ball downfield pretty well for us. Like last year,
Mason's got a good head on him,
he
yeah.
got thrown into the fire with the Titans, and the Titans just weren't that good of an offense. So I can't even really like Mason went in and he was didn't perform like he performed all right. Like he was pretty. I think it was like 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
again the
just
Titans' offense were probably even worse than us. So what's that really
yeah.
saying?
But at the end of the day, it's like, oh, would you rather trust Mason Rudolph or Sam Donald? And I think at that point it is.
Honestly, if I do like Sam, and the thing was about getting Sam here was that it depended on how much they would, because like at the same time I have faith in Sam. It's just if you sign him to that contract and he doesn't perform, then you fucked. And that's a lot of the things that teams do that hurt themselves for so many years. That's where a lot of the fans kind of tick me off with the Steelers. Like they're like, "Oh, do this and who are you going to get to throw the ball?" Like, well, who's a free agent quarterback that you're super high on? And because Sam Darnold was probably the top guy, right, as far as quarterback free agents.
He was pretty up high up there. I
Like
mean,
who else
like
was contending
you
with
still
who
have
else was Justin Fields would probably be like right there, I guess, behind him, I maybe.
yeah, like
But
you can
who
make a
else?
case for Rodgers or Wilson, but
But like really,
he's
that was
already
just
done
Sam
that.
Darnold was the free agent guy. And if you're gonna they signed Sam, I think it was what 4 years, 100 mil.
Actually, he can opt out after a year.
Well, but
I
they
just
still
told him that.
offered him like quite a bit of money though. Is my
Yeah, they told
multiple
yeah
years, a good amount of money. So like I feel like that's where the Steelers didn't want to like lock themselves in, and just because Sam, if he proved it more than just 1 year, I feel like they might have taken that chance to pay him a little more money. But after getting DK and paying him, and you got a good receiver, then you went out and got some cornerbacks, like you had signed some other pieces, and then I think they still have TJ to sign. So
hmm I will say though, I think one of them is going to benefit either him or Pickens from the other having all that attention now.
yeah, well, there's
And
gonna
I think more than likely it would be DK because he's more proven. So as
Yes,
long as they
that's
find like the quarterback to throw it to him, I think he'll be fine. I don't know if he's gonna be like a crazy like
no. I'm not talking again.
fantasy breaker, you know.
I'm not hyping him up like, oh, he's gonna kick ass, like he's gonna put up these 28 points. Like, no, like my thing is like if you're a contender, like say, yeah, the one league, not V2, because obviously I think mate and you are at the bottom of that, but in the OG league, I'd probably say both of us are contenders. So like if we needed that flex spot and we didn't have anybody, like say I didn't have Adams or McLaurin or something like that, or if I just had McLaurin or just had Adams and I had no other depth at wide receiver and I was good at running back and everything else, and I have
Mm-hmm.
that pick, I'm gonna move that pick and I'm gonna, because DK's proven there again. I'm not gonna trust that McMillan is even gonna get drafted to a team that I like, or Luther Burden, and on top of that, if they're even gonna fall to me in the draft. So I'd rather
Yeah.
just pull the trigger and get DK. You know.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of where
Yeah.
I fall out with him, and that's why it's interesting. That's why I have him on my list. So we'll move on to yours. I talked about Metcalf long enough. We'll move on to your number 3 in the Dynasty top 3.
Yeah. Right now that spot is being accompanied by Devontae Adams.
Oh, you have
And
Adams again?
I just think even in Dynasty, I think he's just
Yeah, you can't go
in the
wrong.
next couple of years, like he's gonna be that guy. And as far as like I said, I'm based on like trades, like it's a lot of older guys, a lot of guys that aren't gonna be in the league in 5 years. So
Me.
it's like a very tough situation where I'm like, well, yeah, of course, like the quarterbacks are gonna be more popular in Dynasty, especially in our Dynasty league. So like you can rattle off like the younger guys that might get a shot, but I think for like where I have like the next couple years, I think Devontae Adams just
Uh,
like he's so good at the redraft basis. You gotta consider him for Dynasty as well, even if
yeah.
it's like he's not gonna be here in 5 years. So
This trade,
um,
I'm looking at trades right now. Some of these are freaking wild, but some of them make sense. Like this one here, 2027 first round pick for Adams. That makes sense because you're giving a first rounder, but it's later on. So it's basically like his value is pretty much around a second right now. And this one, I don't really have faith in Chuba, but it makes sense because you're technically they paid him, so he's looking like he's the guy. Adams in a third for Chuba. Uh, Devontae Adams and a 2020 second round one for a 2025 206 and a 112. So basically, you're just swapping firsts, and
yeah,
really, yeah, so that one makes sense too. This one I don't like. Justin Herbert for Devontae Adams, Kyler Murray, and Cam Akers is just whatever. But Kyler Murray, I feels like almost is basically same as Herbert. Like I don't think Herbert did better than Murray last year, if I recall.
yeah. I guess maybe just job security wise, Herbert's maybe a little bit safer, but
Yeah, I think younger. Yeah, it makes sense.
a little bit younger.
Khalil Shakir for Adams. That one I kind of don't hate that. I kind of like that one.
I don't hate it. But if I'm a contender, I'm not making that. I'm keeping it.
I think
If
I
you're a
would too
contender,
over
you're not
Shakir. I
trading
would.
him in the next 2 years.
I think I would
Nah,
too. I think I'd keep him.
yeah, yeah. But if you're a guy that like, if you know you're not gonna be good next year, why do you have Devontae Adams on your team?
Yeah, that
Like,
doesn't. You need
he's
it.
not
Yeah.
gonna be that good that
Yes.
much longer. So I'm trading him. I'm seeing if I can get a
Good
first for
point.
him
Great
to a
point.
contender. Like,
Yes.
hey, like if it's me right now and I had a first round pick, I'm like, do I want one of these guys that are gonna be a maybe, or do I want Devontae Adams gonna win me a championship, possibly with the team I already have? So, like, if it was my slot, like if I had the 11th pick in the draft, I'd rather just have Devontae Adams.
Yeah, he's almost like how I was saying about DK. Like if you need that guy and you just like, especially like you said, the 111 or some shit. Yeah, I think I would probably just say screw it and just do it. You know, like
Yeah.
straight up the
So
111 for Adams this year. I'd probably would do it, to be honest, especially
yeah,
now.
yeah, and I think he's definitely worth a second this year, or
Well,
like
that's
a
what.
later first.
Yes, that's what a lot of his value kind of just sits like on keep trade cut. I think it actually is just straight up like like the 2-0 something. Let me look here exactly. Yeah, so I think he basically sits. Let's look at the 205 here. Yeah, pretty much the 205 is where he sits at. And really, like, where you get him, if you are trading him to a contender, you kind of do expect him to pay a little extra. So it makes sense. And
Yeah.
like you said, the 111 doesn't exactly seem, again, because what I was saying earlier, just the wide receivers that are in the class, like, I'd rather have Devontae Adams for 1 or 2 years and he can ball out, win me a championship maybe, instead of worrying about that 111 pick. Because if you win your championship, that's what it's about.
Yeah, you
So.
heard, especially if you're like a money league or something. Like, why?
Oh yeah, we're competitive as hell,
Why
so
are you
that could
wasting
definitely be
that?
an
Yeah.
advantage for sure.
Or if you know, yeah, but like I said, if you're a bad team and you know that
Yes, trade his ass.
that you have Devontae Adams, like you're not gonna rebound quick
No,
enough to
trade him. If
do
you
that.
if
So,
you have no if you even like you're feeling like you're middling, and you're just a middle team, unless you can have picks to maybe try to get yourself over, like if you want to give away a pick to maybe be like, all right, well, I could get Adams, and then if you get rid of another pick for another guy and maybe feel more comfortable about it, but otherwise just get rid of them. See if you can get that 2026 first or some shit and prepare for the future.
yeah.
It sucks losing for a year, but I did it in V2 and I'm extremely happy that I did what I did and didn't rush drafting players and end up being worse than what I was. And just being like, you know what, it sucks, but next year in the draft or something I can address it a little bit, or even just have the picks to move for a player. So sometimes you just got to take that year and bite the bullet. So
Right. So,
all right,
yeah.
Adams, we
Your
talk.
number.
If you didn't get it by now, we love Devontae Adams.
Oh, that's great. He's pretty good at football, man.
He's pretty good. He's
pretty good at football. But yeah, that I will. I mean, I talked about it enough. I'm gonna go to your number 2.
Yes, and my number 2 is kind of a shocker. Zach, the mother lover, Wilson. He loves your mother. He loves everybody's mothers. I like him in Dynasty strictly because he's on. Last year, there was some traction with him going to the Broncos. It didn't last very long, but there was a little bit of traction there. He's not on that team anymore. He's on the Miami Dolphins with Tua, who obviously has had issues staying on the field. And if he gets another knock on the head this year, he's going to be gone the rest of the year again. So if they need a starter, he's going to be right there. And I feel with the Miami offense, he's not going to completely suck. Like, I feel like he's going to put up some decent points. Even if you throw it to Tyreek Hill 5 yards, the dude is so capable of breaking an 80-yard freaking touchdown. Like, it's just worth to take a gamble on him. And he's not worth anything. Like, I think his value is not even honestly, he's free in our league right now. He's not even on a team. So he could be in a lot of people's waiver wire. Like, he could be in their waivers right now. And if even if he is on a team, I think I looked at this. He's worth a late 2026 late 4th is what he's worth. The equivalent. Like, that's how low a value he is. And the thing is that with Dynasty, and especially in a bigger league to where you need to kind of make those moves to upgrade your team, and I've done this. I had Sam Darnold on my team. I had quarterbacks on my team, and I had them sitting there. Patient. I was patient, and I was able to move some of them because they had their opportunity. And I was able to make out on it. And those players didn't cost me anything to get. So I only added to my team in the long run. Did I have to take up a spot? Yeah. But ultimately, that spot probably ain't going to be worth anything anyway. It's probably going to be some other player. I just dropped the waivers in 2 weeks. Whoop-de-doo. But with the quarterback, if you can get a guy who starts at least for sometimes even a few games, And if a team doesn't have a quarterback, you can get a draft pick off of it. And if it's anything like a third, and shit, I traded Sam Darnold before he blew up to Zach for a second. I think it was a 2026 second. Hell of a deal for Zach. But I didn't really pay anything for him. So to get that 2026 second, it's just so autumn. Like, I feel like I win on that just because, yeah, did I get could I gotten more? Yes. But again, I didn't pay anything for Darnold. Still ended up with a second round pick next year. That's more value to my team than I can use. So those little things that you can do in Dynasty will pan out and only help your team in the future. And he's 25. He was on a bad Jets team as well. Sam Darnold, same guy, was on a bad Jets team. Went to the Vikings, got his chance. So who knows with Zach Wilson? I mean, he was on the, again, Broncos, but yeah, we kind of knew Knicks was, when he got drafted, we kind of knew what that was going to be.
Yeah.
So I like just based off of like his value alone, there's no harm in just if you have the spot, grab him. And if it doesn't work out, hey, if he's in waivers, grab him. Doesn't work out, you didn't have to spend any fab on him, especially. Boom, that's fantastic. And again, even if you pay a late fourth, most times, like, what, 99% of the time, those fourth round picks aren't going to work out. So if you're going to gamble on any kind of pick, that would be the one to do it with. So as far as like the value and everything, I really like this, to be honest.
Especially if you are like a two guy. Like if you have
yes,
two in
that too. Boom,
there's no way you're not picking this guy.
Yes, grab him immediately. I would say that. Yes, so
I
great
get that.
point.
I'm gonna say though, like you are pressing hard on a guy that might not honestly be like, I'm gonna say it, that good. I don't know if because you saw what quarterbacks have done in the past. It like he was the only guy that's actually been able to run that Dolphins offense, and that's with Tyreek Hill, that's with Jalen Wall, that's with HN. Skylar Thompson couldn't do it.
Yeah, but are we really? Where Zach Wilson was a guy in the draft, like Skylar Thompson wasn't shit.
But at the same time, Zach Wilson hasn't really proven himself to be that guy either. Like he has had multiple chances with the Jets.
Well, that's my point. The Jets, like.
Yeah, but then he goes to the Broncos and he gets beat up by a rookie.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I feel like they
didn't even give him the they knew that like he isn't. Like he's probably a backup in this league, and that's what he's going to be.
Well, that's
like I like him as a stash for like the two other owners and that kind of thing. Or if you're just like, hey, I have a free spot, he's in the free agency. Let me just pick him up real quick. Like that's totally fine.
That's my point. Like just the value of him, you don't really lose. You can only kind of gain from it, especially like if you don't even have Tua and you grab him, and something happens to Tua. Yeah. And he's the starter. You've seen like just middle quarterbacks. If they get a starting spot, they're pretty viable. Yeah. And if that happens, he ends up gaining some worth. And like I said, if you get him for nothing, and then you can flip him for like just like I said, like I did with Darnold, a future second or some shit to a team that's desperate and needs a quarterback. Do that. It's a win. That's a total win.
Yeah. We're also betting on like Tua getting hurt and that.
Yeah, but that's kind of a safe bet though. At the same time.
Yeah, like I don't want him to see him get hurt.
No, I don't either. Sure. It sucks ass because the shit. It's not good to see him on the field. No, that sucks.
Like even if he's having symptoms, like after a game, like that's definitely a possibility. So.
That's what I'm like. It's just the opportunity in Miami as far as like the backup quarterback getting playing time just makes sense to me to take an opportunity. And honestly, if you have that spot on your bench, pick them up, grab them. Especially honestly, if you can get them for a fourth too, like, yeah.
And like I mean, compared to like other quarterbacks that got kind of thrown around, like I don't think he's any worse off than Pickett or Daniel Jones or any of these guys that kind of got slotted in like backup spots or like who am I blanking on? I'm blanking on somebody, but I'll think of it in a second. But or Mason, or Mason. If he gets a shot. So I'm surprised though you have him over like Mace or like over DK or over like these guys that might be a better value in Dynasty. That's why I was like, oh, that's a
well, I'm not.
That's
see
a
the thing.
Placement for him.
it was more like I was saying. It's more of my inner like
Yeah.
I'm interested in where he went specifically, like just the opportunity that he could get and just the value that could grow from him,
Yeah.
just because he is nothing right now. And so if you can make something out of him, and again, it's not this isn't something I'm like say yeah you should blah blah blah. I'm not trying to hype him up. It's just if his opportunity comes, the value grows, and then you just make your move on it and you cash in on it, and the value of your team just gets higher, and you have that more assets to play with in the future. So,
Okay.
and yeah, you know how it is. Their quarterbacks go down, their backups are all of a sudden getting people are throwing mad fab money at them because they
Yeah.
desperately need a quarterback.
But if you have the guy already, you're like, hey, I got a
Yeah,
nice
hey,
second round pick
you
here.
give me your 2026 second, or even shit. You want to say your 2027? Who cares? If you get a second round pick for Zach Wilson this year, like I said, that's a win. So then that's the
Yeah.
only reason why I like it. All right,
Yeah.
but
Hey, man.
that's enough of him though. Did we talk about your number two yet? No, just your yeah.
We did not.
Okay, all
I
right.
mean, we're kind of like. I promise after this, there's no more like of the same guy. I'm gonna mix a few guys in there because they all can kind of be in that like dynasty. Like, hey, this could be a new place, new face, and just like break out. Javonte Williams. I have him as like my main guy in dynasty as well because he is 25. He is going to a new team that might do a lot more for him. And I'm gonna slot him in like in the same realm as G. And just recently, I saw Jordan Mason go to Minnesota. So he could have a chance
Wait, who?
to.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I spaced.
Jordan Mason got
Okay, yeah, I
traded
did.
to
Yes,
Minnesota.
yes, yes.
So like all these guys like they have a new chance because one they weren't either not being treated well enough or they were in a
What
committee
the shit?
or what happened.
Sorry, I just saw a trade. While you were talking about Williams, I was like, I wondered about his value. There, a trade was made in basically the same type of league we're in. Dude traded Sam Laporta, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams for, get ready, George Pickens.
Damn.
Yeah, just that.
That's a mighty.
That's trade rape
retire.
right there, my guy.
Ooh,
That's
man.
yeah, that's it too.
Dang. Oh
That's
man.
who let that go. Damn.
Can we say that word in? Can we just say that word in YouTube?
I don't know, but I
Maybe
think
edit
I've heard
out.
that. I think I've heard that word be used before. But if anything, I'll
Yeah.
blur it out because that's
He
not.
said grape, bro. He said grape.
I said grape. Trade
Uh,
grape.
grape, bro.
I like grape soda.
Just in, as we're playing YouTube, breaking news: the Bengals have agreed to a 4-year, $161 million extension with Jamar Chase,
Oh shit.
and a 4-year, $115 million extension
T.
with T. Higgins.
They signed them both. Okay.
They signed
Breaking
them both.
news, baby.
There we go.
Well,
You
I
got
mean,
Joe
it broke
Burrow, you got
already,
Jamar
but
Chase,
you get it.
you got T. Higgins. You're set. You're set for life, man.
Well, they were saying they were trying to get this. They were trying to lock them both up. So,
Yeah,
and
I'm
that's
just glad
who were
Mason's
they?
out.
They released or what's that one dude retired. Their line that they had that one really good freaking dude. I guess he was
Orlando Brown.
he was on the defensive side, white guy. He was the
Hubbard,
hometown boy. Yeah, I think that's it.
Hubbard Hendrickson, one of those guys. Yeah,
I think it's Hubbard. I don't
think it's
know.
Hubbard too.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Oh well, but yeah, he left.
Yeah,
So I guess
still
that freed up, and yeah, they said they were gonna pay their guys, so they definitely did.
There you go.
All right.
But back where we were saying. Yep. These running
Javonte.
backs are okay. These running backs are just like really good opportunities in younger guys. Mason's 25. Najee's 25.
And he
Devontae's
does
25.
not cost a lot. Like no.
No, as far as like dynasty value, I'm like these are better situations for these guys, and I think that's gonna be
Just the upside, the potential upside, and taking the risk on it.
yeah. Like even if they take a rookie, like you still have a chance at getting them,
Yeah.
like
See, he.
new atmosphere, new offense, like. And
he's
like,
worth a third
what
basically.
Saquon did.
So
Yeah.
if you, I'd trade a third for him. I'd do that.
I'm thinking like Saquon, Josh Jacobs, all these guys like did really well in free agency, and they did well last year as far as like putting up numbers. Nobody thought Josh Jacobs would be like anything. Like they thought
Yeah,
Marshawn Lord was going to take over that offense at the end of the year, and Josh Jacobs has said, "Nah, man, give me the ball. I will be the guy."
the only
And
thing that I
he,
would say that's a difference though is that Javante does have a more history of like he just hasn't come back from that injury to where those other
yeah,
running backs have performed over the last few years.
yeah. I just think maybe for Javante, it is a better situation.
Yeah, new team. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And Dallas is a really good offense, but
And
LA
the
is a good
value
offense
is
too.
very good too.
Minnesota,
So,
yeah. So I do I like all these guys. So I'm cheating because I'm bunching them into like their own little
hmm
set here. I think out of all three guys, I would rather have Devontae in my opinion. Like I think Najee is definitely it makes the case, but yeah, I do think like the running backs value that did move are in Dynasty. I think fare a little bit better than they do in Redraft.
yeah, the value I feel like Javante, like I don't really know where he would fall in redraft right now, so I can't really speak on that. But as far as like, because a lot of people use keep trade cut, so I'm looking here, and like I said, the 301 is pretty much where his value is, and I mean, I'd do that easily. Like if I'm a contender,
I
especially, and you kind
would
of just you have an extra third round pick hanging around,
if I
I'd
need a guy.
like
Yeah.
not even just need a guy, like just to maybe if like you don't have exactly like depth at the running back spot, like you have two guys or like maybe even a third that you're like kind of like yeah, but if you need somebody to maybe be like your third, fourth running back that you could potentially use, and you have that third round pick, I'd pull the trigger on that.
hmm So yeah,
I like it.
that's pretty much all I had there. So we can go to
Yeah, what?
our bonus picks.
Yeah, we're moving on to the bonus pick, saving the number one for last. And my bonus pick is another one that might throw a little people off. We spoke about him earlier, Mason Rudolph. And this again falls on right now. We're not trying to think of if hey the Steelers are going to draft a guy, because even if they do, I still feel Mason could start the year. So that I do feel like that's a chance as well. But um, his value right now in Dynasty is extremely low. Extremely. Like he's probably not even on most people's teams at this 921. Yo. This is funny. His equivalent value is even to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is at a 954 on keep trade cut. That is so damn low. Wow. How you have fallen, Deshaun Watson.
Damn.
Yeesh. That's bad. But yeah,
It's his
again,
fault
Mason,
though.
like he's just the value again is why I like it and the potential that because he started in again, played pretty well for the Steelers at the end of the season. He took him into the playoffs. He had that hiccup, like I said, but ultimately, like after that, he performed pretty damn well and almost kind of like made a comeback almost a little bit. So I like Mason, especially now that he's back with the Steelers. The addition of DK Metcalf only helps. And again, just taking a flyer on a quarterback just because he costs nothing right now. So if you can get him or even have him, hold him unless someone's willing to overpay right now, obviously. But that's probably not the case. And yeah, just take a flyer on him, hold him. If he ends up being the starter, his value immediately shoots up immediately just because he's the starter. And
Right.
you can just if you want to flip him then cool. If you want to hold him and see if he can gain value, that's a gamble you can take too because again you probably didn't pay shit for him. So
I have a question.
yeah,
If you're doing the rookie draft, but we're adding like the actual free agency players,
we do.
like
Yes, we
actually
do.
like you could add like Rico Dowdle or somebody like that.
Yeah, you can. We do include the
He's like
waivers
fourth
in
rounder.
ours, so that's an
Yeah.
option.
So do you take Mace it's Mason if they say Mason quarterback is the starting
Ooh.
quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the season? do you take him somewhere in the rookie draft?
Oh
And you
yeah,
how early do
absolutely.
you take him in the
Yeah,
rookie draft?
that's the question I was thinking you were gonna ask. How early? And that's a damn good question. If okay, so if you go into your rookie draft, obviously after the NFL draft, and they don't go like say first round guy, they just maybe go for because they don't have a second round pick anymore. They go third or some shit, and you kind of know like, hey, Mason. He's looking like he's probably gonna be the guy, and you go into your actual rookie draft, and he's on there because I don't know if every single league does the waivers included, but we do. And if that was the case, I'd I'd spend a third on him. Easy, easy. A
I think
second,
I'd be in the
I'd
same
probably
boat.
maybe even if even maybe if like I had a second or if I was like a contender and had like a real late second and I maybe needed like a third quarterback or something, I think I'd probably do it too.
Yeah,
Just
I'd
because
say
like
like
again like if he's even if you get a year out of it, like if you have him be the starter for a year and you need him, it's gonna be worth it. Especially if you're
yeah,
contender that second, like yeah, it just like
I'd
it could go
say
as
yeah, third
high as a
me too.
late second as if your team was yeah set up a certain way and you needed that quarterback. But
Yeah,
I'd go easily a third for sure.
yeah, I'd say I go as high as a third.
Yeah, so.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, just the value again is where I fall on that. So we'll move on that though, because there's not too much to say about Mason. He's a huge question mark, like Zach Wilson is, and basically everything I said about Zach kind of goes to Mason as well. But even
Yeah,
not kind of even more a little upside with Mason because he already played for the Steelers, so you already kind of got to see what he could do a little bit.
uh, but
But well,
honestly, at the end of that, end of 2 years ago, like he was
pretty
good.
good,
Like
pretty good.
he was. He ran that offense well. He
Yes, he
felt
threw the
like
ball
the
downfield,
time
was
that he
throwing some
had.
dimes, stepped
Yeah,
up in the
so I could.
pocket,
Yeah,
taking
now you have
hits.
weapons.
He wasn't
Yeah.
scatterfooted like he was when he was younger.
So, like I said, I think he improved. I don't see him as
Yes,
more
totally.
than like a fringe starter as far
No,
as like.
no, no, no. Like
Yeah,
one
I
year,
think
even if
he
they draft a
competes
quarterback, I
for it.
think that they just because he knows the offense. He's a safe guy. Like especially when they didn't have
Yeah,
anybody else, grabbing him was so smart. It was a very smart move to get him back.
yeah.
And
So
I kind of
I
forgot
do
about him
think
to be honest until they signed him back. I was like, oh shit, yeah, he's there. Yes,
grab him.
yeah, it makes a
So
lot of sense. But we'll move on to your guy. This is your bonus pick. Who do you got?
yeah.
No, we didn't discuss your but
So
no, yeah, it's you.
yeah, I didn't get my notes again. I'm gonna go a guy for similar reasons that you had Zach Wilson.
Okay.
And I could probably kind of mesh up a couple more guys in here, but he's my favorite out of the bunch. Daniel Jones.
Oh
For
yeah, you
fantasy.
did say about that.
Yeah, Daniel
Well, for
Jones is
Dynasty.
literally. Um, I don't know if I could say this. I'm gonna say it. He is a white Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, white
He is a
boy.
guy that is known for his
Hey, we're
running.
white. We can talk about other white guys.
We can't have white guys, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a whole lot of great accuracy, but I think he's more accurate than Richardson.
Yo,
And if
yeah.
Richardson slips up or he gets injured, Daniel Jones has a new opportunity on a team that isn't going to literally crush his literal body and hold him out just in the open. Like
Mm,
this, yeah, he was treated terribly in New
the
York.
Giants, dude,
Their fault.
they let
Yeah,
go of freaking Saquon Barkley because they said something about Daniel Jones making too much
just
money or
being
so.
the
Like
guy.
you can't have a
Yeah,
quarterback like hand off to
our
like what, bro? Like those are the
literally
people running your shit. Nah, you suck.
a year after you're like Daniel is our guy, they let him go, and I think that is hilarious. I think that's hilarious. But Daniel Jones is
Oh
not
yeah, how
Daniel Jones' fault.
quickly that fucking crumbled.
He had a terrible offensive line. He didn't have enough receivers. When he did have a chance, he connected pretty well with Malik Neighbors. And now he's got a couple guys in Indy where if he gets the opportunity with like Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Adonai Mitchell hasn't been proven himself yet, but
And
he
that's
has
the
an
thing,
opportunity
like,
now.
and that's what I was thinking, honestly, when after you spoke about this, because I don't like Anthony Richardson. I'll say that right. There was a few times where, because I know your brother was a big supporter of his and has him on a few of his teams and was trying to get rid of him. I wanted no parts of him, none, because I don't trust him. Like
Yeah,
he just never like he was the guy who came out and had the potential, and but he after these few years he proven that his accuracy and shit hasn't gotten really any better. So I just don't have faith in him, and those are the guys that don't normally work out in the league, to be honest.
yeah.
And he's just
Now, like I
proving a
said,
point. They take him on
yeah.
potential. He barely started in college. Like Daniel
At the
Jones,
same
I feel
time,
like Daniel Jones is quite a bit better as far as having a quarterback. I feel more comfortable with him.
I feel like a passing quarterback right now. Yeah, I think Anthony Richardson
And that
can
offense
develop
is
into a
good, like you
passing
said.
guy.
Pittman, that Mitchell wasn't utilized right, like you said. Like they have
Yeah,
weapons, dude.
I mean, a
Jonathan
lot of
Taylor's
people
still
said that
there.
about. Yeah, like now they have a running game. Now they have
That's
guys that
what
can
like. There is
that can
no
spread
that
the
team
ball
should have been
45
good.
times.
That offense should have been good, I should say.
Yeah, but I'm saying is like I said, AR could be like they said the same stuff about Lamar Jackson,
But
and
Lamar was
Lamar
better
turned into
player.
a
Lamar
really
was far better at throwing a ball
way
than
more
Richardson
talented.
was.
I
Way
gotcha.
better. Even at
Richardson's more of
the
a bigger
quarrels with
dude.
him, he's still way better than
Yeah.
Richardson was is.
Yeah,
Was
but
yeah.
like I said, as far as development of the passing game, it can. And I think it's what he's got to rely on. But if he doesn't show it this year, like I said, I think it gives Daniel Jones a really good opportunity to give himself a second chance. And I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback.
No,
I
I
just
don't
think
think he's
he
bad either. I think he's
just was
pretty
pressured
solid.
so much, and I think he just has to.
I think he's a good middle, like he's a good decent starting core. Like he's not gonna like
Yeah.
win. Like he kind of reminds me of like I kind of think of those quarterbacks. What was the dude for the Ravens? Hasselback
Hmm.
or something like yeah, like those dudes that just like they're good, smart court. Like they can make the right plays and they can make some good plays, make some good ass throws. And with Daniel Jones too, the factor like his legs, he's pretty fast, dude. Like you're saying he's fast for a white mother.
He's
Like,
so fast. He trips over himself,
and I
man.
was
It's
watching some
crazy.
highlights of him. Like his quickness, his acceleration. Like I was like looking at it, like, damn, dude, okay. And he don't
Yeah.
mind
So
hitting some,
he's
which is a little scary. He kind of tries to hit some dudes, but
yeah. But like I said, like for fantasy, I think if you
no.
still
And
have him,
his
I
value
would.
on keep trade is at 2,284, which I don't think is I think that's a pretty low second rounder, to be honest. Oh, not even like a 301. Let's see that.
Oh, him being worth a third round pick in Dynasty still is like. I mean,
Yeah, I mean he's worth the third round pick basically. Like
I could even like. I can't even rule out him starting the season at
I think
quarterback.
he is, to be honest. I think he'll end up
Yeah, like I
starting.
think he'll if he can
Like, dude,
start. Like
they
I feel
threw in
like
they used Joe Flacco. Like, I love Joe, but that's how desperate they were, and he still
yeah,
didn't even perform that well.
nah. But like I said, like if you have a competent quarterback right there, you can put up points and you can, especially with the rushing ability and those points being important in Dynasty. Like I think like it's good to like if he is in your free agency. I'm sorry. I'm also like maybe throwing like a third or fourth round pick at him in rookie
I
drafts.
that if he's in your waivers, that's kind of crazy to me. I feel like he shouldn't.
Yeah, if
I
he's in
mean,
your
I could
waivers, I
see it,
don't know
but
why.
I could see him being in waivers if like someone at the end of the season, like a good team, didn't want him anymore and like was just clearing space or some shit and just dropped him or some shit. And I don't know. I would just hold him on to the rookie draft, but I could, yeah. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
so
he was to start like he was like starting some games for the Giants. So
yeah. Honestly, he didn't even have the bad fantasy games. Like he was quarterback 6 in week 2, the quarterback
yeah,
5
let me
in
go
week
to sleeper and look at
10,
that.
and he had 24 points, 22 points,
And his legs
and
only help with that, and that's the thing. Like,
yeah, like he's
yeah, an
and
18,
then basically
19,
started off.
22, like 24. Those are pretty solid QB numbers right there. If you can give me a quarterback put up almost 20 points, especially in a super flex spot, I'll do that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think he should still be rostered. I definitely
Oh,
think
for
he should
sure, I
be.
agree.
Yeah,
And
or tricked up if he
if
isn't.
for a third, I would. He's like kind of like how we were saying about like how early we'd go for Mason. That'd be no
Yeah.
different for Daniel Jones. I would definitely, if you tell me I could Daniel Jones, I need maybe a third quarterback if I have two starters and need maybe want a little security, and Daniel Jones is there, and you can get him for a third. Hell yeah, do that. Make that trade.
Yep.
Because honestly, I feel like
So
he will be the starter
yeah, and I
at some
also was
point.
thinking like to get the same like situation as like Kenny Pickett, but I chose him over Kenny because the Browns suck. So
Yes,
the Browns are
yes.
good.
Yeah. I
I
didn't
think it's more
have
opportunity
any
for
thoughts about
Daniel.
Kenny Pickett in my list. Trust me.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett was
I don't mean
he.
I don't
I think he has a
any
better
ill will
chance
towards him
now.
or any ill will. Yeah, but
Yeah, I feel like if there was any dynasty value, Pickett did gain value by going to Cleveland because he now has the
right
opportunity to
now,
start.
yeah, especially since Wilson didn't walked away with no contract offer.
Yeah, and
So,
then like they have Watson there. I
what is
guess they
Pickett's
might.
value? Let me look at that. Actually, I'm curious.
Like,
Can
I
you
don't think
pick it, baby?
he's probably like around like 1,000 or something.
What happened? Kenny Pickett. Yeah, 1,400. So he's like worth a fourth too. So nothing.
Yeah, so like there's some guys that, like there's a question, there's a big old question mark there, but
Yeah.
like if you just like if you don't
To
have
take a
anybody else
fly,
and you just
take
want
a
to take a shot at
chance.
them,
Yeah, that's what a
yeah,
lot of dynasty. That's what a lot of that is. Is just hope taking a chance on a guy to gain some value and then flipping them to gain overall better value of your team. Because
yeah,
anything you can really add. I mean, obviously you don't want to just be like, give me a bunch of thirds and shit. Like you don't want to really try to gain too much on that. Like you kind of want to be like, hey, if you want to make a trade, send a third, try to get a second. But I mean, if you can get later on in the season, like I was saying before with those other quarterbacks, if you can get him now and then he starts in his like, or even just announce the starter, because if he's announced the starter, like I said about Mason, and you were saying before, his value goes up immediately because he's the starting quarterback
mm-hmm.
and he's going to get used, and he has starting quarterback has value in a dynasty league.
Absolutely. Like they
Especially in a
immediately are
super
like,
flex. I should point that out. In like a
yeah,
regular one quarterback, definitely not. But like a super flex league, like we were saying before, you there's quarterbacks on waivers, backup quarterbacks that become valuable because people need them. So
yeah,
I
but yeah,
I don't mind Pickett, but I do like Jones better. I agree.
Jones, yeah.
Yes, because I don't like AR. But we can move on. Well, do you have anything else to say about Daniel Jones?
No, I think I'm good. We
All
can
right.
go to our number
Yes.
one pick in Dynasty,
And
and you can have the floor for this one.
he was on our team. Sadly, he's not on there anymore. Obviously, I left the Steelers to join the New York Jets. Justin Fields. And after a minute, I was thinking about this, and I didn't realize it until, or even think about it until I saw it. Garrett Wilson and him were on the same team at Ohio State.
Yeah,
That is a pretty big. That's pretty big as far as like feeling like he could perform there, even if like, because he has that connection with Wilson, and Wilson's a dog. Like he's a stud receiver. So, and they still have Brees Hall. He had like Fields is dynamic as hell. Like we should have used him. It was sad because the thing was at the end of the year, and I feel like I didn't. Going away from Russ, I didn't. I could see if they did want to do it, but at the time, kind of made sense that they stuck with him. But at the same time, I felt like they should have used Fields more, like they said they were going to in that playoff game. Supposedly they were going to use him and more things to try to run him and use him because he's so dynamic. And they didn't, and they failed. And with the Jets being the starting quarterback, he's going to get way more opportunities to break mad runs like he did before. And that dude can put up 30-point games in the snap of a finger. Like he's that freaking good at running the ball and scoring. And he has a pretty good arm. Like he definitely could throw it downfield. His accuracy is kind of the question, but he's made some pretty good throws for us, and he performed pretty well for the Steelers. I kind of wish we signed him back he's my number one in Dynasty just because his value at the same time isn't. It probably has gone up, I'd assume. Yeah, it has gone up a bit, so we kind of did lose out on that, on the Fields train there. But he's still like, his value's at right now a second still. Yeah, basically the 201, you might as well say a late first. But
Yeah.
as dynamic as he can be, he's a player you'd want on your team, especially if he can be your super flex quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's so like, yeah, like 20, he was 21, 24, 25, 25, 32, like 28. The dude, he's one of those quarterbacks who can do that. And that's rare to have someone who can put up that many points. It's like a wide receiver, like the tiers of wide receivers that you have. Like you have Justin Jefferson, you have Jamar Chase, you have like Adams, like those guys who can put up like 30, 40, Tyreek Hill, 50 points on, like there's times where those dudes almost put up 50 points. Like then that's the difference. There's the tier like, and these are the guys you would want to take risks on because they can be that guy. And if so, you're going up against a star quarterback. They put up 21, but you have Justin Fields who put up 35. Like, yeah, hell yeah. That's gonna win. That's gonna win you your chip right there. Having that be that difference, especially like what I was saying before, just the big difference that he could make, because he can make up for points in other areas being like that, and he's shown in the past he can be that quarterback. And again, I like him. I liked him on the Steelers. He performed fairly well. He performed fairly well for us, and he balled out quite a few games. 23, they're like 31, 19 is not bad. Like there's some games where fantasy wise, he balled out still. And that's with the team, with the Steeler team who wasn't very good on offense. Right. So I like him. Obviously, you like him as your number one because I mean he's a ball, like he can just put up those points, man.
I mean, especially for Dynasty, like part of me was thinking redraft, like he could also be up there, but
redraft, I feel like he has a pretty good bit of value in redraft as well. Depending, I again don't know how things are where people are falling in rounds, but if he falls a little bit, like, and he's like I'd put him before like someone in Matthew Stafford easily. Like if he's like towards the end, say like Justin Herbert and some like few of those guys are gone, I'd draft Justin Fields and take a chance on him.
Yeah, I think he immediately went from he's a backup on a team that
his value soared.
I feel like as far as the system that he was on with Pittsburgh, he did well, and I think it taught him a lot of things. I think that he can use now as a quarterback that he didn't get to really do with Chicago because Chicago was just a train wreck.
Yeah. They didn't really. So they try to help him with receivers. Like they try to bring in some dudes, but like, yeah.
So if it all goes well, I think you're gonna get the best version of Justin Fields that we've seen, and that could potentially, like you said, be a league winner. And him just going off, especially now that he has his old college wide receiver back.
Yeah, that's only adds to it.
Yeah, I do think that they need to go grab another receiver because they have Adams, they don't have Williams. They have like a couple.
They'll probably draft a guy, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think they're keeping Lazard for right now. But you need somebody that's gonna be.
I like that one dude. That I don't know if he's still on there.
But
Gibson, I like him. Xavier Gibson. He's like a slot guy though. He's like your wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
And then they have that Malachi Corley, but he didn't really get too much of a shot, especially after they brought in Devontae. So we'll see how he develops. But he was supposed to be like what they call him, the Yak King or some shit.
Yeah, I mean,
in college,
Corley, and you are supposed to score your first touchdown, but you drop the ball just shy of the.
Is that what happened? Oh shit!
That's what happened.
I didn't know that. Dang.
Poor guy.
It's kind of like the
Yeah,
one
that happened.
Scatterboo I see. He's on my not Scatterboo, damn Lobby, the white dude on my dynasty team. I should drop him by now, but he was drafted by the Raiders, and the first
Yeah.
chance he got lit up by TJ, and he fumbled it, and
Uh,
they barely used him ever again.
yeah.
Like, oh shit.
It's bad. Like you got one chance to make an impression sometimes, and
So you're
that's
done.
it. You're sitting out the rest of the year, but at least. But back
Oh
to
man.
Fields. I think really talented guy, good
Hell yeah.
runner. I think for fantasy, he's a dynamo.
Running
I think
quarterbacks.
if he can be an efficient quarterback with the Jets, that's saying a lot because the Jets usually don't do that. But I
Well, I
think
mean, you figure
he,
if he throws like 1 or 2 touchdowns to Wilson and then runs another one, like even if he throws 1 or 2 interceptions, he's putting up like
yeah,
still like 25 some points probably. Like,
yeah. Like I
you
said,
know?
his versatility. Like I said, he's immediately like I would put him where you would put him. Like you have your Lamar's, your Josh Allen. He's got
Yeah,
all those guys.
like after Herbert and yeah,
Yeah,
he'd be
Jalen
like that,
Hurts.
almost like the top of
I'd
the
say
second tier or some shit.
like Herbert, Murray, like that, the little realm there. That's where I would
He could
have
be, yeah, he could be in
Justin
that mix.
Fields.
I'd put him probably a little bit behind just because like those guys are on their established teams and you know what you're gonna get from them. It's Justin is a little more of a question mark.
Yeah,
So
but I
but
also
I would
think
throw
that
I would throw them around that area. Yeah,
yeah, but I think if he balls out, I think that that could be like a bit of a
he'll be a
steal.
top 5 QB if he does what he does. Easy.
Yeah, like you saw, like at least you saw freaking Baker Mayfield do it. Like I feel like Justin Fields can
Baker.
find this new place.
Yes,
Like
I love Baker.
Baker kind of had that. Like he
Fuck Cleveland.
didn't work out in his he didn't work out in Cleveland. Like
Cleveland sucks. They
it
did
never
him
does good in
dirty, dude.
Cleveland.
They did him out there.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't like the Browns.
but
That just makes me hate the Browns even more.
he kind of ventured around a little bit, and now he's back on a team where he can start, and
They gave him a
he can impact, and he could be
nice old contract.
nice little contract. So yeah, I'm excited for Justin Fields. I think that he can be a league winner. He's got some weapons. He's got Brees back there. So he's got three really good running backs. I'm sorry. Like there's three guys back there that could be starters in this
Reese,
league.
Braylon,
And the
Isaiah,
Jets,
like those, yeah.
yeah. I saw Isaiah run. Isaiah was like animal, man. And he's your third running back. I'm sorry, you
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, yeah, you definitely,
Brandon Allen's
they
your
have
bruiser,
talent
and
for
Brees
sure.
is. I mean, you could just have Brees back there and be fine. Like
Who's
it's not.
Stone Smart? I don't know who that is.
Stone Smart
He was
was
a
the tight
Charger
end for
guy.
the LA
Yeah.
Chargers. Like I said, I talked about it earlier. I picked him up. I played him a game. Got me 9 points. I was happy.
Oh yeah, against Tampa. Yeah, that's what I was just.
Yeah.
Or Kansas City, he actually put up 9 against them too.
Kansas City. Yep. So I was happy with that. But
Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah, and then I think he might still have Ty Conklin there too. He's a good tight end.
They have Jeremy Rucker, Neil Johnson, and Zach Kuntz.
Okay, so they got rid of Ty
Yeah.
Conklin. Gotcha. But
Yeah,
still,
Conklin. Where did he? Is Conklin a free agent right
I
now?
think he's still in the free agency at that point.
Yeah, he
if
is.
anything
He
pops
is.
up. Cool. But nah, if he feels gets an opportunity now, that immediately boosts his dynasty value. Yeah, he's definitely worth like an early second at this point. Like I'm telling you right now, Zach better hold on to this dude.
Yeah,
Not
I was
try to
trying
dump
to.
him
I
off.
was looking actually to get Fields off of him. I was basically offering what he was worth, like a high second, basically. But
Yeah,
he doesn't want to get rid of him, rightly so. So
like you traded Josh Allen.
yeah, that's where I feel like
you write
and
this
that's what I
out.
told him. And that's what I kind of told him. I was like, he has a lot of upside, but if you want to get rid of him now, like it's high seconds what he's worth.
Why would he? He's finally getting
That's
the
what I'm saying.
opportunity.
And well, the thing
Yeah.
was, he fucked up last year. I told him this. He gave away Knicks and Lad McConkey basically for like Jerry Judy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was
and Judy
stupid.
was fine, but
Well, he got
yeah.
damn it, the one tight end from the Ravens, Likely, but he already had tight ends, so it just doesn't make really
Yeah.
much sense. So
Plus,
he kind of dropped the
also
ball with that
flipped-
because Lad's yeah, that was mainly Lad.
And honestly, he could have still made the playoffs. Then he dealt me Connor for Tank Dell, and Dell got hurt the next.
Yup. Well, Connor, yeah.
So-
See, he kind of, yeah. That's what.
Connor got hurt too, but Connor had some really good games for me that helped. But yeah, I just like Zach just gotta stop making trades, man. Let's stop trading. You
Well,
just
see,
gotta.
Dan, that was the thing. Like, he shouldn't just stop. He needs to think about it. Like with the Sam Darnold one, like I gave him a great value for that, and I
Oh,
told
I
him I
would
was like,
start.
his upside's just too. Like his upside is just good because he's a starter, and if he ends up starting and does well, he gets another starting spot next year, and then that's exactly what happened. And he only gave up a 2026. I think it wasn't that. I think I gave him in a fourth or a third, and he gave me a 2026 second or some shit.
Yeah, or if you're
But that was when
thinking
Darnold was
lower.
starting too. It's not like he was starting and had a few good games. So he already knew he was going to be starting. It wasn't like there was any question about it. So
Yeah.
even if it didn't work out into the next year, he had a starting quarterback all year.
Yeah, and now he's got a couple now, so I think he's actually
Yeah.
got like something like if you're gonna make trades, make like lower tier trades that don't hurt you as bad. When you're trading Josh Allen, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, bro.
that was the biggest, stupidest thing he ever could have done.
That's just like, dude, you were so good, and because you
He
lost
literally
Tyreek
just
Hill,
fucked his whole thing
game,
up just trading him because you could have
you
gotten
just
way more
fumbled.
than just like you could have gotten way more than that. And
You got
hopefully it
so
does
much
work
more than
out for him because like you literally almost basically did a swap for Allen and Fields. And I
that.
get
Yeah,
it. He got played on him being a Steeler fan. He got hooked on the hype, and he let it get to him, and he accepted a trade that he shouldn't have made.
yeah. I mean, that's where you want to play, man. That's your money, but you're also
Yeah, it
affecting
just
other
doesn't
people.
make
So
sense in a dynasty because again, like in a redraft, I can maybe understand a little bit because you can at least reset at the end of the year. But in a dynasty, you can't. You're stuck with your
yeah,
team. So, and Josh
yeah.
Allen's
Even
a
a draft,
guy. Like you already know, he's a
Josh
top 3 dude.
Allen,
Like he's the dude. Like there's no
you
debating it.
you you draft him, and then if you're happy enough, if you're lucky enough to draft him, you don't trade him.
You
I'm
don't, or
sorry.
you just
There's
get
nobody
like a
worth
starting
it.
quarterback and you get like 2 first or 3 first on top of that. Like
Yeah,
you give me a king's ransom
you're
for that.
giving me a crap ton. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I've gotten more for a running back and receiver. I got more of an offer for a running back and a wide receiver.
And I'm happy
Um,
his team at least looks pretty like as much as he freaking killed it, it's still a decent team. It's not a shit
yeah,
team. He needs a
too.
lot of work still, but he has pieces.
Yeah, and he's got the draft. I mean, I think he only has like
Yeah, he doesn't have
first.
that. I got most of his picks.
Yeah, so I mean that's how that's how you want to play. That's
Well, I don't have his
yeah,
first this year. I have his first next year, but I think I have his second.
yeah. And that's why we have vetoes now. So
Tommy has it. That's right.
um,
He gave it away and then for Lad and then traded Lad away. Freaking
yeah,
dummy.
but
I
yeah,
love Zach,
Justin
but damn.
Zach and 36 a redraft. Um, nah, he's cool. I
No, I
feel like
love
he's
Zach.
Justin
He's my
Fields.
boy.
Yeah, easily Justin Fields like the best value as far as dynasty, as far as the free agency and trades go this off season. As far as like who just gained the most. So
Justin Fields,
he
man, he's number 1 on our list for a reason because
yeah, and
he's the
honestly,
starter and he can ball out.
and either we're right or he is terrible. And I got Jordan Travis sitting in my taxes.
Honestly, even
Give
if he is
him
bad, like who like they use Tyrod, like are they really gonna want to take? Do they feel like Tyrod Taylor would give him that much more, or Jordan Travis? Like I feel
no.
like even if he, like I said before, even if he throws a few interceptions, like he scores one on his with the legs 2 through the
Yeah,
air, like it's
it's
still
gonna
gonna
be.
it's still gonna just make up for all that.
I think it's gonna be like either he plays terrible or an injury that gives him that
Yeah,
benefit
he
of.
either like
I think
or he
they write him
balls.
out. Yeah, because I think he's still your best chance to win
Yeah,
out
and
of
when he
the
puts
quarterbacks
up
that you
those
have.
points, he's gonna win you a game basically by himself.
Yeah, because Tyra, like you said, he's just a backup. Like he's a backup if you need a guy for a game. And Jordan Travis is, I think, it's his second year. He
Yeah, he was
hurt his
drafted
leg
last year at Florida State.
and he had a bunch of setbacks, so he's still not proven yet to even do
Has
anything.
Yeah,
So,
had setbacks in his recovery from his leg injury at Florida State. Oh yeah, he
so
was that. I remember him now.
yeah, I took a flyer on him just
Yeah,
because I had an
rookie
empty
quarterback.
practice squad spot.
Yeah.
Gotta see.
Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I like what we went through here, especially
I feel bad
Fields. I
every time we
mean,
do these.
Fields could be redraft, dynasty. It don't really matter. Like he's
Yeah, you can
being
make a
the
case
starter
for
now.
him.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie. If he can put up 30 points, 25 points for you in a game, yes.
I just hate how we keep every time we do these, we throw a shade at Zach for the trades he's made.
Well, I mean, it's just the players that he had on his team come up.
Yeah,
I love you, Zach.
yeah. Hey, if these players are on your team, keep them. Or if you're a bad team and they're old, trade them for a lot.
Yeah, I mean that
Better.
if you are a bad team, that is the thing too. Like that's with the bad teams, and the thing we're kind of coming from because we're mostly me and you are mainly we're
Yeah.
basically contenders every single year. So
I don't
it's
lose, bro. Unless
well
it's in the
V2
final.
unless it's like on purpose, basically, like we did in
I
V2. Like
can't win a damn championship round. I can't do it. It's not in me.
dude, oh man, my redraft year.
I
Woo!
realized if I had
Champion
actually
redraft.
started.
Woo!
So, just going on a little bit of a tangent here. I played Pickle, Tommy in
Damn
our
it,
league,
Tommy.
redraft league. If I would have started Baker Mayfield over Kyler Murray, I would have won that week. I would have then
Ooh.
gone on to beat
And
Melissa.
that's a hard one to pick between two. Damn, I
And I
kind of
started, and I set my lineup to see how much points I would score after that the next couple weeks, just because I just wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna win the championship.
yeah.
I
Make
would have
yourself
beaten
feel better
Melissa.
about it. Yeah, I feel you,
All right,
bro.
but I would have beaten Melissa, and I would have played you in the championship. You would have beat me,
Yeah, my team was so good, dude.
which
My team
probably
is
would have
dogs.
made me feel worse because
Losing
then I would
again in
have
the
lost
championship. yeah.
both
yeah,
leagues,
I feel you, dude.
both dynasty
To
and
get the
redraft. I would have
yeah.
lost
Oh yeah, because you played your
because I
brother in the
lost to
one.
my bro,
Yeah.
and he wasn't gonna be beat, man.
Yeah,
There's
he
nothing
got.
I
That's
could
what
have
he
done.
got. He won after he got Nixon Ladd, dude.
I could have traded for Mike Williams instead of him. I could have done a bunch. He just got these young kids, and now he's on a roll.
Yeah,
He's
his
gonna be
team's
hard to
he's a
beat.
contender for sure. He's up there.
And
Like obviously he
which
won the championship, so he's a contender for sure. But his team
yeah,
ain't going away.
yeah. I mean, he made some like trades that I wouldn't like. He did like Zach and a couple other people,
Yeah, he got
Jeremiah.
over on Zach. That was one that he got over on him for sure.
But for the most part, the first year our startup draft, he did nothing but rookies. And now look at him. He is like literally he traded draft picks or like quarterbacks and everything for first round picks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You take your time, build up your team, build value, and then
Yeah.
ultimately cash in on it.
He was the second worst team in
Yeah.
our dynasty
Well, and
league
that's the thing with
coming into
V2
this
now.
year.
Like, we're probably, me and you are probably going to flip flop. We'll probably end up being to the top
Yeah.
because, I mean, I need one or two running backs and I'm freaking golden.
Yeah, and now he like immediately like all his second year most of his second year players hit, and all of the rookie players he got hit.
Yeah.
So he ended up being like he's now dominant for going to be probably a few years.
Yeah, he's got
like,
young dudes mixed with like some little bit
like,
of like some a little more experience, and then he has the young players to go with it. So his team's not going to fall off.
No, he's too smart for that. He's like me.
He'll make the moves at the right time. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the
he's
thing with
really
Dynasty. You can't be sentimental. You can't get hooked on a player. Like, that's what
Yeah.
AJ Brown, did I really like? I love AJ Brown, but it made sense. Like, he was getting older. I had receivers. I need depth else. Like, I could build. I need depth elsewhere. So, and I already had McLaurin, and then I was able to get Adams for this. We swapped the first, and then I gave him my second. So it's basically a swap of picks and a player. So I was able to at least get more depth, but like AJ, he would just sat like in. I don't really. I have London, Puka, like I.
Oh yeah, you got
Yeah, like I wanted to move him to have a little more freedom, and yeah, so.
Yeah,
And it
we
made
can
a
talk
lot
more
of
about
sense
our
because
dynasty
Aaron gets a
games.
little younger, and then he gets a stud with AJ that he can throw alongside Nico. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about dynasty teams. Like, I'm afraid like this might be my last year to like actually compete because I think Baker's gonna be good, Goff's gonna be good, but I think I got a little bit lucky with it, and I also got lucky with running backs because they did fall off at the end of the year. So
well, hey, I mean, at the middle of the year when people need somebody, and if you feel like you're not a contender, then that'd be the time to pull the trigger. You know, hey, I got Goff, I got Baker, give me a first, give me a future first. You know,
give me something.
yeah, just make your move then. Just decide, hey, it's not gonna. I don't feel like I actually like I could be in the playoffs, but am I actually? Do I got a team that can win it?
Or like I said, I have two nuclear bombs in Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, two
So like
dogs.
they could be
So.
worth a lot. So
Oh yeah, but those are probably dudes that you'd probably just keep, and then more so probably just maybe move
yeah,
one like
or
Goff
like
or Baker, especially if you can move one or the other and just get that first
yeah,
round pick for them.
because I
But
don't
I'd
think like
probably would
yeah,
move
Jefferson
both
and
and just
Chase.
probably say fuck
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, maybe
But
see if you can trade them away and then hold that first round, and then maybe see if you can get rid of the first round for a quarterback at the end of the year, or get somebody in the draft. Because I mean, these upcoming drafts are supposedly quarterback heavy, so.
that's the thing. I'm currently out of draft picks until
Oh yeah, you and Hayden spent a lot of
fourth
your picks. That's right.
fourth round of 2026. So
Yeah, see, I'm stacked on picks, dude.
yeah, now that I think about it, I'm like, if I knew this running back class was going to be good, I probably
I
waited. But
I crushed my initial draft so bad that I just like I have everything filled and I still have the 102, 103, 109, 202, 206, 3 first next year and a second.
yeah,
So like
so
woo!
that's how these kids gotta learn, man.
And Jaden Daniels, let's go.
Jaden Daniels is a stud,
Is super
ladies and
stud.
gentlemen.
Oh yeah, my
But
Devontae
yeah,
Adams nickname. Let's ram it. But
but
yeah, we'll
hopefully,
wrap this up. I'll call it a
yeah,
night.
I will say though before if you are somebody with those players, like use these as like selling points. Be like, hey, I have Devontae Adams. Do you know how good he's gonna crush this year? Like that should be a selling point for like if you're trying to get a late first. Like
No, that I would
would you rather
definitely
have this
hold
young guy?
for. I would hold because like if
Well,
like,
if you're not a contender, if you're like, yeah, you have
well,
Devontae
yeah,
Adams, and you're like, hey, this is your selling point. Like, dude, do you not want Devontae Adams instead of like first round pick?
because if you can
That's
get
probably not going to be anybody worth anything.
if you can get if someone's offering you like the highest I'd probably go like if you can give me I'd probably think of the 201 maybe, but like you said I'd probably just wait because someone if they're like you said the contenders and they're probably I'm assuming multiple contenders in the league obviously, but yeah, tell one like, hey, even if you wait a little bit and someone be patient because Adams is probably still going to just be worth as much as he is now in the middle of the season, you know? So being patient kind of may be a benefit if you can only get a second or something like that. And you're like, hey, I may want to wait. Or even if you just say, hey, not a first this year, give me a first next year. You
At
know?
that point,
Yeah.
you're not worried about this draft. You're like, all right, I
Yeah.
can
Because we're
worry about next year.
yeah, and that's like I was saying earlier. Sometimes you can't worry about this. You gotta just be like, hey, I, it's, it's not gonna be. I have some faith in my team, but compared to the other teams, do I feel like unless I get super lucky, am I gonna beat them? And if
Yeah,
your answer is no, then yeah, build for the future. Get that 2022 first round pick because you never know that contender team could fall off. And we've seen it before. You start out with a stud team, you have a few injuries, and all of a sudden you're at the bottom of the league.
mm-hmm.
So
It's a little more realistic thing.
yeah. But
So
anything else?
I think I'm good, man.
Alrighty. Well, that's it. I hope everybody enjoys the video, whoever watches. We're going to be doing these again in the future. We haven't been doing this for a while, but we're going to start doing this again.
And
And
we should have a for the first round of the draft. We should have a. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a live stream.
yes,
Both
I don't know if we're gonna do.
on
I
Twitch or
maybe on.
YouTube.
I might see about doing it on both. I'm gonna see how that because I haven't streamed live on YouTube yet. I've only done it on Twitch, so I may see about doing it on YouTube too. So
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, we will have more videos coming out before,
yes,
so we'll
we'll
give more information
we'll
out as
probably
we
honestly
plan it.
I don't know how early it'll be the next one, but definitely there'll be one more before like the rookie draft. We'll probably have one right like probably a few days before the rookie draft, like a pre thing. And then obviously, like Brown said, we'll have the thing for the draft, the first round anyway.
Yeah.
So
All right.
should be a good year. Should be a good year. Very interesting year with some of these trades that have happened. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
There's a little bit extra to come, so
Hell yeah.
we just got an update today, so
Sweet. All right, well, everybody, hope you have a good one. Peace.